people watching it. So, all right, cameramen to your cameras. Okay. We will try to stream. I have no guarantees because it's streaming on my phone. No, it stopped. It
said low internet.
Going out.
Chuck, is this you?
1, 2. Here. Let me get in here and get us on the. Let me get us on the radio, and then we'll join this. It won't change what we say or do because we're going to be over the radio, and if we have this going in and out, I'll try to keep it on the air. If we don't, so be it.
He says he's got to do the team intro music first. Team intro music. Okay.
Test, test, test.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Houston, we have a problem.
Things ain't what they used to be.
No, actually, they play Indianapolis next week. They don't play Dayton for 2 weeks.
Are you singing the national anthem?
That would not be me.
Okay.
There would be people streaming out of the stadium.
At least something would be streaming in.
Well, there would be people streaming out of the stadium. Well played.
At least something would be streaming in. That's all we can do.
We do what we can do.
That's all we can do.
All right. For those of you out in Radio Land on WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio, we are here in Middletown, Ohio for Premier Amateur football action with the Premier Amateur Football League. And this is CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. For those of you that are attempting to watch our stream over the internet, we were told we would have access here and that we would have access to the network. Neither one has happened. So if you have a very grainy stream or if it cuts in and out, we apologize. But unfortunately, we were assured that we would be able to have the bandwidth necessary to bring you this game, and hopefully we will be able to do that. We are recording it, so at some future date, it might be on our website in the event that you don't get much of a stream as far as our bandwidth, because we continue to struggle with trying to keep the stream up and operating, but it is what it is. All right. I'm going to turn it over to our broadcast crew, Chuck Hale and Bill the Razor Raybeck, as we get underway. We got about 5 minutes to go before we start this game.
Thank you, Rick. And welcome, everybody, to Barnett's Stadium, the home of Chris Carter Field here in Middletown, as we have the Butler County Broncos taking on the Cincinnati Chiefs in our PAFL game of the week. And I'm joined, of course, by my partner, Chuck Hale. Chuck?
Good to be here, Bill. Beautiful evening for football. Beautiful sunny evening, and a little hot, a little humid, but not too bad. Should be an interesting game tonight.
And, interesting with this game, this is the second consecutive week, or actually we had a week off there from Memorial Day weekend, but second consecutive game where we've had two undefeated teams in the league facing each other, Chuck.
Yeah, that's right, Bill. The Broncos come in tonight. They're also undefeated. They, a couple of their previous games, take a look. They opened the season with the Ohio Crush, and they defeated them 70-6. Next, they went down and played the River City Hurricanes, beat them 20-6. Played the Ohio Rage after that, beat them 39-0. And then finally the Lima Steam in their last game beat them 35-0. So, again, Butler County only giving up 12 points on the season and showing that they definitely know how to put points on the scoreboard.
In back-to-back shutouts, of course, the Cincinnati Chiefs, last time we saw them, they played the Dayton Hornets and came up with a 46-21 victory. And, of course, in the first half, it was a close ball game, 26-21 Cincinnati at halftime. But second half, the big playability of the Chiefs wore down the Hornets. And, of course, the Chiefs came back in the second half to widen that lead and eventually win 46-21. So, if we look back at that game, we've got a couple minutes here, Chuck. Let's highlight some things. Now, we were able to get some stats off the films here on campusnation.com. If you watch that on YouTube, you can see a really nice job with our camera team. Some excellent shots there, Chuck.
Yes, there were.
And so let's take a look at it. In passing, we had number 17, Antonio Davis, was 11-21 for 298 yards, 4 TDs, and an interception. His backup, who came in later, Maurice Lovett, was 1 of 4 for 16 yards, and he had an interception. In the rushing department, number 4, T.J. Harris, 4 carries for 102 yards and 1 TD of a 75-yard run right at the end of the game. Number 12, Maurice Lovett, 3 carries for 28 yards and a touchdown. Number 17, Antonio Davis, the quarterback, 3 carries for 28 yards. He had 1 fumble and 1 fumble lost. 32, Tyrone Berry, 2 carries for 7 yards. Number 34, Paul Gray, 1 carry for 7 yards. Number 13, Deontay Riley, 2 carries for -1 yard. And number 30, Blake Moore, 2 carries for -8 yards. In the receiving department, Deshaun Edwards, number 85, 6 catches for 223 yards and 2 TDs. He had a long of 91 yards, and quite the game for Mr. Edwards there, Chuck.
Yeah, he really showed some real game-breaking ability there, ability to run after the catch, ability to make people miss. And again, like you said, just a all-around great performance. They're over 200 yards on how many catches?
6 catches.
Yeah, that'll really help the average. Won't it?
That puts you in that 30 yards a catch average, which is pretty rare company there. As far as the rest of the receivers, Raphael Dell, 1 catch for 4 yards. Number 13, Deontay Riley, 2 catches for 33 yards. Dre Reap, number 1 catch for 23 yards. Number 4, T.J. Harris, 1 catch for 16. And number 30, Blake Moore, 1 catch for 15. In the return department, another young man who put on a show for us was number 10, Paul Jones, and he opened it up big time in our last time we saw the Chiefs, Chuck.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Bill. They show they have a lot of threat from either one of those men back deep for the Chiefs. So, again, looking to light up the scoreboard here tonight as well.
Yep, and so we'll look at the return game for them. Raphael Dell was good in the return game with 3 for 50. Paul Jones had 3 for 147 and a touchdown. Deshaun Edwards, 1 for 6. And then in interceptions, we had number 3, Sergio Freeman. And we're going to take a pause here for the national anthem. So, a nice rendition of the national anthem, Chuck, as we get ready to play some football here in the PAFL Game of the Week right here on Campus Nation and WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville. So, Chuck, what we can go off of is what we saw Cincinnati leave us with last time. And, it was a nice performance and big play team, a very opportunistic defense. But this could be a different game here with Butler County in their 5th year. They do have a successful history, much like the Chiefs. And so, we've got to expect that this is going to be a game that is going to represent 2 undefeated teams coming together and, playing hard.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Bill. I think, like we talked about at the beginning, that Butler County has shown that they obviously know how to put points on the board and they play some good defense. So this should be a great matchup tonight. The Chiefs, like you said, showed that their defense can definitely take advantage of opportunities given to them, and there's no doubt they know how to score with the football. So
right.
This should be a great ball game tonight.
Now, if we look at, you want to go ahead and talk about the coaching staff there for the Butler County Broncos.
Sure. The Broncos are led by head coach Jason Schultz. Schultz, a product of Hamilton High School, also played collegiately at Thomas More. He's been with the team 5 years, and he's assisted by Steve Smith, the offensive line coach, also from Hamilton High. Been here for 5 years as well. Jeremy Lester in his 3rd year as the D-line coach, also out of Hamilton. The defensive coordinator is Wallace Morris. He's in his 2nd year. He's also out of Hamilton High School and was a 2-time All-American at Wilmington College. Ray Frederick, the linebackers coach, is a 5-year veteran here, also out of Hamilton High. Their linebacker coach, Damon Pugh, has been here 3 years. He also is from Hamilton High and played at Central State. And then 2 offensive assistants, Scott Craycraft and Jake Nichols.
Okay, and for the Cincinnati Chiefs, they're led by head coach David Poole. Offensive coordinator is David Jones. Special teams is led by Kenneth Davis. Assistant coaches, Carlos Snow, Carlos Davis, and Les Sledge round out the coaching staff for the Chiefs. And we believe, now we're not positive, but we do believe, and of course if someone can help us with this, like last week, we believe that Carlos Snow would be the Ohio State running back, the former Ohio State running back, and a very good player for the Cincinnati Academy of Physical Education.
That's right, yeah, Cincinnati product right there. So,
Okay. We just got confirmation that is Carlos Snow of Ohio State.
Good to know.
Interestingly, Chuck, I had the opportunity to be an assistant coach at Kenston High School when we played Cape in the state championship.
Well, you have my apologies then for that.
We lost 7-6. We missed an extra point, which would have sent it into overtime. But it was a great game, and a lot of college football players came out of that game.
Yeah, that's right. Cape, unfortunately, was a short-lived school there in Cincinnati.
Yep.
But boy, they put out some unbelievable athletes in the short time they had.
The fullback for Cape was Vinnie Clark, who, of course, went on to play for Ohio State and the Detroit Lions, and had a long NFL career. So it was a star-studded state championship game for at that time, which was Division III.
Right.
So we're getting ready for the kickoff. The Cincinnati Chiefs won the toss and deferred, and so I would believe that Butler County will take. I didn't see the decision, but I would believe that they would take the ball.
Yeah, that makes sense. Again, if the other team's going to defer, you better take it when you can get it. So.
Yeah. Cincinnati, of course, last year was 15-1. They were the BCFL league champs, and they played in the semi-pro elite national championship semifinal, losing 17-14. In 2017, they were 10-4, missing the playoffs, but went to a bowl game, the semi-pro elite nutrition bowl champs. So they are 5-0 on the season. Their most recent win was against the Dayton Hornets. They, earlier in the season, beat the Cincinnati Dukes, followed by a victory over the Cleveland Patriots, then the Kings Comets, and then the Ohio Valley Saints leading up to the victory over the Dayton Hornets.
That's right. And the Broncos last year were 11-4. They played in a different league last year, but they were the league champions in that league. Again, they've had 3 straight playoff appearances, 2 league championship appearances, and again, last year was their lone league title in 5 years. So again, two programs with a lot of success are getting ready to throw it down out here.
You want to talk about the starting? So the Butler County Broncos will go on offense first. So I'll let Chuck run down the starting offense here for the Broncos.
Okay, the offense is led by quarterback number 12, Steve Cunningham, and he's going to be flanked by Robert Givens and or Ricky Cardwell at running back. The fullback, Damon Pugh. Slot receiver is 81, Mario Ramirez. Other receivers are number 1, Lamar Taborn, number 2, Dominic Williams, number 3, Kyle Brewer. Starters up front, number 63, Mel Parker will be at center. And on the right side, you've got big number 71, right tackle Robbie Parker. Next to him will be 65, right guard Ty Gardner. And on the left side, you have number 50, James Whipple. And next to him, number 56, Justin Barnett. The punter and kicker duties tonight will be handled by number 99, Kyler Kostoff.
Okay, thank you, Chuck. And we get ready for kickoff. And the deep men for Butler County are Dominic Williams and Austin Howell will be back deep for the Butler County Broncos, who are in their all-blue uniforms with silver trim, and the Cincinnati Chiefs in their all-red uniforms with the gold helmets and white numerals.
Oh, kick goes over the head of number 24. That's Taylor.
And Taylor, he's up to the 30, to the 35, 40, cuts back to the 45, nearly up to the midfield marker, and a nice return to open up the game for the Broncos.
Ended up about a 40-yard return there, Bill.
40-yard return, and just found that gap in the middle, Chuck, and bounced out to the left and was able to work his way out to nearly the 50-yard line.
Yeah, he did, and he got a little bit of wiggle to him there. Some nice moves there to get into the open field.
Sure did. So we open up here, and now what we expect, we're going to go based off of Cincinnati's chart that we had from last week, but what we had them starting with Vito Sosa at defensive end, and we see Vito out there. They had number 94, Big Eddie Davis, as the nose tackle. Number 44, Jameel Peoples. And then number 47, we're going to get.
All right, so the Broncos in a 3-by-1 look here. Little fake to the left side. Quarterback rolls to his right. And he's got a man wide open.
And Peoples was pressuring him, but the quarterback was able to bounce out of there as Cunningham was stepped around Peoples and was able to shoot it down there for what appears to be about a 25-yard gain, Chuck.
Yeah, Mario Ramirez, the slot receiver there on the reception.
In coverage for the Chiefs was number 26, Dion Conley.
So 2-by-2 look here for the Broncos. 2 wide receivers to each side. And little give up the middle here to number 3. And number 3 looks like that is Ricky Cardwell with a nice gain over the right side for about 11 yards.
And eventually wrestled down by, I believe it's number 8, Pierre Savage Hunter, was able to drag him down the safety. So touchdown saving tackle by Hunter, and it's been a good drive for the Broncos opening up here.
Yes, it has. We got an early timeout here by the Chiefs.
So as we look at it, Chuck, a big pass play. Cunningham was able to get outside of the pocket and connect on that, and then followed up by a nice little lead play in the middle. And Broncos have something going right now.
Yeah, they do. And I'll tell you, I think the Chiefs, that was more of a regrouping time out there to figure out, hey, we need to figure out what the heck's going on here.
Yeah. And it's a nice size offensive line. Number 71 is a big dude, the right tackle there.
Yes, he is. That's big Robbie Parker, and, he is no small man, that's for sure.
No, he is not.
All right, so another 3-by-1 look, this time 3 receivers to the bottom of the field. Back offset to the right. Of course, Cunningham in the shotgun.
Cincinnati in their 4-3 look here. Of course, they're getting a little bit more running attack. They're going to keep those linebackers in the box. And Peoples
Cunningham
again gets up.
Right. Just can't get away.
And that's Vito Sosa.
Yeah, big Vito.
And Vito comes up with a big play as he drops Cunningham for an 8-yard loss on the sack. So nice play by Vito. And, they needed that, Chuck, because at that point they really hadn't had an answer for what was going on out there with the Broncos.
You're right, and that brings up 2nd and 19 for the Broncos. So looks like we've got another 2-by-2 formation here, 2 wide receivers each side of the field. Running back on the left side of Cunningham. Cunningham surveys the defense. Looks for the snap.
4-3 look with the ends playing wide, and Cunningham just pitches it out of bounds.
Yeah, Cunningham just whips it out for number 81. That's Mario Ramirez. Falls harmlessly incomplete there.
Cunningham might be taking second thoughts towards hanging on to that ball a little bit too long, because even though Peoples has not made the play, he has got deep into the backfield a couple times.
Yes, he has. That's right. He's shown a lot coming off the edge so far, and you're right. We're only in the first series.
And if he adjusts to what's going on out there, then Cunningham might not have the latitude to get outside of him so easily.
Yep. Okay, 3-by-1 again, 3 receivers to the bottom of the field. Again, 3rd and 19. There's the snap. Cunningham puts it up in the corner.
Oh!
Nice catch there, and going to be down just at the 1, it looks like. Looks like that's number
36, I believe.
36, okay. Well, that is, let's see if I can get a number here for us. That's Lamar Taborn.
And they were talking about Lamar a little bit before the game, and he is one of their big-time receivers, and he made big-time play.
He did right there. You're right. That's going to bring up 1st and goal from about, we'll call it the 1.5-yard line.
Yep.
So we'll see what the Broncos choose to do here. See if they stay in the shotgun or maybe come under center and try to pound it in here.
I think that was more a play by the receiver than it was the quarterback.
Oh, I think you're right. Cunningham just threw it up and let him make a play, and he did exactly that.
Yep.
So, all right. So it looks like we're going to have another timeout here.
Yeah.
This time by the Broncos.
Yeah. So the Broncos want to make sure they get this right. Of course, you get down there in a game where teams are undefeated. You want to make sure you get the right play call.
Yeah, that's right. And one thing to look for here, they had big number 57, Damon Pugh, the linebacker, lined up at fullback there. So we'll see if he remains in or not.
Yeah, and he has been listed as a fullback as well as a linebacker. So, and you see that nowadays, a pretty commonplace in the NFL and college, where they'll bring in a defensive player or an offensive lineman who has a little bit more ability as far as speed and quickness than the other big guys, and they put them in there to lead on that. And even in high schools nowadays, you'll see them line up and do that just to put a big guy in there. Okay, so
all right.
What's the let's see if we can get. Okay, we got 11:52 to go here.
Okay, so not even 5 minutes old. We're about to get our first score here.
Yeah, from the 1-yard line.
So again, 1st and goal here. And the Broncos come out now. And it looks like we're going to have the same formation they had before the timeout. We've got tight end to the left and 2 backs in the backfield, Cunningham in the shotgun.
Cincinnati tightens down the defensive ends a little bit.
Shift into a pistol formation, little isolation play off the right side. And I don't think he got it, Coach.
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, so we'll give Ricky Cardwell, Ricky, 1 yard on that.
And, as we saw last week, no stranger to being in the middle of the action was Anthony Berry, the middle linebacker.
Yeah, Anthony, again, last week, very active, as you said. He seemed like we called his name almost every play.
Anthony.
Second half.
Yes.
All right, so same formation here. Again, 2 backs. And again, shift into the pistol now. Cardwell behind Cunningham.
Oh, it's a bad snap. Oh! And Cincinnati takes advantage of the situation as he's dragged down by number 47 and number 26.
Yeah, bad snap there. Cunningham tipped it and just fortunately tipped it right to Cardwell. But
Deion Conley, and we do not have a number 47 on this roster. So
okay, that's going to be a loss of 4 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 5 now after getting it down just outside the goal line.
Yeah, that was a nice, but that was an opportune TFL. Of course, it was created by a bad snap, which led to them being able to drop them for a loss, but an important loss nonetheless.
Yeah, that's right. So again, third down, 3rd and 5 here, or 3rd and goal from the 5, excuse me. And this time we're going to have twins to the bottom of the field, pistol formation, and we got a slot receiver now, and now we're going to be in a 3-by-1. And a little play action fake, quarterback rolls to his right.
Oh, broken up.
Yeah, nice break on the ball there, going to be incomplete. Intended for 36.
It looks like number 10, I think. If that would be the case, that would be Paul Jones.
Okay, so intended for Taborn, but again, nice break on the ball by Jones there, not allowing the reception to be made.
Now you think? Am I right, Chuck? Is that a 6? Can't tell if that's a 10 or a...
Yeah, I'm going to go with 10 for now, Bill.
Yeah,
Works for me.
So Paul Jones, the wide receiver last week, who got a lot of action on the offensive side,
That's
is
right.
in
So
there on the defense.
Kostoff in to attempt about a 23-yarder. Good snap. And there's the hold to kick. And it's good. So 3-0 Broncos.
10:04 to go in the period. And so that is a field goal attempt. And what was the yardage on that, Chuck?
We'll call it 23.
23 yards. So Kostoff 23, good. And so the Broncos draw first blood. And a good drive that stalled. Give Cincinnati credit. The defense stiffened. They made, the bad snap dropped them back from a really short yardage situation to that medium short yardage when it dropped them back to the 4-yard line.
Right.
And in essence was all they needed to keep them from getting in the end zone.
Yeah, and I'll credit, Coach David Poole there for that timeout that, ended up really paying off there. Saved them probably 4 points.
Exactly right. So we will get a kickoff here in a minute as Cincinnati will be receiving, and I believe back deep, yes, Paul Jones, and if it's like last week, it'd be Raphael Dell, who were dynamic last week. So we'll see if we get the same thing. But one thing that we know about Cincinnati in the short time we've been doing their games is they are not short on speed, Chuck.
No, they're not. And I'll tell you, they're not afraid to mix it up a little bit, too. We saw a reverse last week that just about went for a touchdown on a kickoff return. So we'll see what they have something up their sleeves here.
And it appears that number 2 is the other deep man, not Raphael Dell. And that would be Eric Morton.
Okay.
So we believe it's Eric Morton and Paul Jones. We know Paul Jones for sure, so we'll see how this goes. Kostoff approaches, drives the ball deep, right to Jones at the 14-yard line, and he's up out to the 40 really quick, and that's where the Chiefs will take over. So a 24-yard return for Paul Jones.
Yeah, not a lot of hang time on that kick. Didn't seem like they had a lot of time to set up much blocking, but, you're right. He just busted right up the middle and got what he could and ended up with a nice game.
And that's been the impressive thing, I would say, Chuck, when we've seen Jones, is that he's not a guy that tries to get to the sideline. He gets north and south right now, and that's what you look for in kickoff return and punt returners.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Too many guys, I think you're right, try to take it wide and just run themselves right out of real estate. But,
right.
North and south is where you want to be, and that's exactly what he did.
Okay, we've got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Anthony Davis, AD, the quarterback. And starting in the backfield with him.
Oh,
and we've already got a
unfortunate start there. Looks like a delay of game.
Yeah. So looks like the Chiefs are just going to come out and stay with the same play. And why not?
Yeah, right.
So
the Broncos in their 4-3 look here, it looks like. Maybe a 4-2, kind of a nickel type look.
3 receivers to the right for the Chiefs, 1 to the left. Davis in the shotgun with back flank to his left. Davis takes the snap. He steps up and hits number 83. And 83 is up to the 35-yard line, deep into Bronco territory.
Yeah, number 7, Gannon Mathis on the tackle for the Broncos. But you're right, not before they could pick up about, let's call that about a 25-yard gain.
Yep, 26 to be exact there. And that was number 83. And we will get a name on him here in a second. So with the new jerseys for the Chiefs, they have changed some numbers. So we will try to get on that as
83, that's Eric Evans, Coach.
Eric Evans. And there's a handoff to number 12, and I believe that's Maurice Lovett, a familiar face from last week.
Yes, it was. Big number 94, Jordan Baxter, wraps him up there right in the middle of the line before he can get anything, though.
And it appears Maurice gets about a yard. And that's going to bring up, not even that, it looks like.
Yeah, I think a yard would be generous there.
So 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line of the Broncos. I guess we'll say 33-yard line of the Broncos. They're a little bit closer. I want to cheat them here. So from the 33, and so the Chiefs come out. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left.
And we've got a equipment timeout on the field, it looks like. And now we're going to be whistled ready for play here.
Okay. Okay, so Davis gets ready. Call for the ball. He looks it over. He's got 2 to the right, 2 to the left, with his back slightly flanked to his left. And he gives it to number 30, who's Blake Moore. Blake Moore pops through there down to about the 27-yard line, pick up a 6 yards.
Yeah, finally number 34, Dustin Miller, able to drag him down. But you're right, not before a nice pickup there.
Yeah, Blake Moore had kind of a frustrating game against Dayton. Didn't have a lot of success. But running wasn't what Cincinnati did against the Hornets. They were able to go up top at will.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Bill. The running game was kind of a second thought last week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say.
Okay, so we've got a 2-by-2 set. Antonio Davis in the gun with Blake Moore to his left. Davis drops and gets the ball out quickly to number 1, and that's Dre Reap. And Reap, if it holds up, is down to the 24-yard line, which would appear to be a first down.
Yeah, we do have a flag on the play there, but number 21, Trevon Cordova with the tackle. We'll see what the indication is on the penalty.
Yeah, so it might be coming back. We're not sure. But Dre Reap, who, last week we saw him, he did catch a pass last week. So legal man downfield, that'll bring that one back. And that's going to set up a 3rd and long for the Chiefs here, Chuck. And what an unfortunate time to get a man wandering downfield, because that would have been a first down and kept their drive alive.
Yeah, it really was. Bill and I almost wonder if there might have been a miscommunication there, because there were quite a few Bronco linemen in the backfield. Maybe that might have been a screen call that didn't pan out.
Yeah, and that quite often happens depending on how the plays are called. You get that situation where linemen drift downfield on screens and the quarterback throws downfield. Okay, we got 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Davis takes a drop. He looks. Middle of the field is wide open, and that's number 13. And I believe that is it's number 12, Maurice Lovett. And Lovett.
Nice catch by Maurice there. Number 14, Austin Howell in the tackle. But
Down
right.
to, it looks like about the 3-yard line, which would make it
a big gain.
No, it's going to be the 6. So a 27-yard gain there. And it was a nice, you could see that one breaking open right off the top. Chuck is cooling himself down here. It is quite hot up here in this press box.
Yes, it is.
So that would be 26 yards, 27, and that puts the ball on about the 6-yard line.
All right, so 5 wide look here for the Chiefs. No running back.
And Davis again, he looks, and he just tosses up to number 83. And that is the aforementioned Eric Evans, who caught a big one earlier in this drive. So
and again, just like we saw earlier with the Broncos, Bill, that's just a case where the quarterback's trying to let the receiver make a play on the ball.
Yep, exactly right. So we've got 2nd down and goal from about the 6.5-yard line. So we'll take a look here and see what Cincinnati dials up. And so they've got a 2-by-2 look. Davis with Lovett off to his left side. And Davis looks it over. Takes a snap and gives it to Lovett. Lovett goes off the right side down to the 5, but nothing more than that. So about a yard and a half gain for Lovett.
Yeah, big 59. Jonathan Clark there, I believe, just hang on to the ankle and wouldn't let him go.
Yep. So I was going to bring it up to 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. And, again, the woes have kind of hit them in this situation. Now, we saw last week, and I don't know if T.J. Harris is here, but T.J. Harris was a bull last week in the latter parts of the game for the Chiefs. And wonder how long it'll be before you see him in there.
Yeah, that's right. He definitely made a name for himself in the second half last week.
A 2-by-2 set. Davis takes his drop. He looks, and it's now, ooh, and that could have been about a 100-yard pickoff return there as Davis hung it out into the flats.
Yeah, that was. Let's see who that was for the Broncos. It might have been 24 Donnie Taylor with a nice read there on the out. And, boy, you're right, Coach. He just missed about a 104-yard touchdown.
And that was Khalid Ali, I believe it was intended for, number 16. And, wow. So 4th down. And it looks like the Chiefs are steaming ahead here. They're going to go for it. And, why not? In a big game like this, we've seen some kicking woes on the behalf of the Chiefs. So they're going to go for it on 4th down. They've got 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Davis gets ready to call for the ball. He takes his drop. He looks, and inside, and it is caught again by Evans for Cincinnati, and a touchdown, 5-yard touchdown pass from Antonio Davis to Eric Evans. And Evans, who we didn't see last week, has paid off huge dividends this week.
Yes, he has. I'll tell you, AD just whipped that one in there, too, with a nice little laser shot right up the middle.
And what we saw with him is he had, of course, he hit Lovett on the big play with a similar type of post situation, except in the middle of the field. So it seemed like Cincinnati was able to exploit a weakness right down in the middle of the Bronco defense.
Yeah, that's right. I think you're right. Exactly. They're finding a hole right in the middle and, like you said, exploiting it. So we'll see if that continues. See if the Broncos can't do something to tighten that up a little bit.
So with 5:54 to go, Cincinnati takes a 6-3 lead. Justin Simpson is out to take the kick for the Chiefs. And so we are still in the first quarter, and as Simpson, there's the snap, there's the kick.
It's
and
good.
It is true. So Justin Simpson is able to convert on the – oh, is it no good? Oh, okay. So I stand corrected.
I missed that.
Yes, I thought the one guy gave the indication, but apparently not. So it is 6-3 in favor of Cincinnati, and a nice drive for Cincinnati, which they really needed to do, Chuck, because if they'd have been 3 and out, the way the Broncos were able to move the ball, that could have been bad for Cincinnati.
Oh, that's exactly right, Bill. And if nothing else, you're right. It broke up the Broncos' rhythm a little bit. Let's see if they can't, capture the fire again here on this next possession.
Yep. So we get ready for the kickoff, and back deep is I believe the same guys that the Broncos had back before, which would jump into their depth chart. Take a look at this. As they have kickoff return Dominic Williams, number 20, and number 14, Austin Howell.
Right, actually last time.
And that's number 24.
Yeah, Donnie Taylor, 24.
And Donnie Taylor again. Okay, so we will correct that on here. Donnie Taylor is the deep man there.
Okay, so a little shorter return this time, but that'll set up the Broncos here 1st and 10 from about the 21-yard line.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, their first. They were up first on the 50, I think, or almost just shy of the 50 when they got on there before.
Yeah, on their first drive. So, better field position for the Chiefs to start with, but then for the Broncos, it's going to be a much longer field for them to drive.
Yeah, they're going to have almost 80.
Yep.
80 yards to drive.
Okay, so 2-by-2 formation again for the Broncos. Running back offset to the right is number 3. That is Ricky Cardwell again.
So
Cunningham. surveys, gets the snap,
A little play action fake.
and fires
Oh!
it. No, breaking tackles. Looks like that's big number. Let me get a number here. That's 36.
Chaz Morton, the safety, with the tackle, and
Yeah, Lamar Taborn again with a nice reception.
Taborn's a big boy.
Again, about a 24-yard reception.
Yes, indeed. So,
All right, so Cunningham 3 for his first 5 here, according to my stats, and
yep.
done a nice job so far finding his open men. Okay, so another 2-by-2 look here. Again, Cardwell to the right. And this time gives to Cardwell. Cardwell over the left tackle. Going to lose about a yard.
And wrestled down there by who else? Anthony Berry. And Berry's just, Berry's one of those guys, if you don't get a helmet on him or a shoulder pad on him, he's going to get to the ball, Chuck.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We talked again today and all last week about how active he is. And tough to get a helmet on him.
Yeah, he is a very active guy, and that's what makes him so tough to block.
So again, Broncos in their familiar 2-by-2 look, back offset to the right. Cunningham eyes the defense.
Cincinnati with a little bit of a 4-2.
Little play action again.
And they bring Wooten.
Ooh.
Just overthrown. Huh?
Yep, and I'll tell you, he just missed.
And Brandon Wooten
Just
shot the B gap and got picked up by the running back, but was enough to, I think, hurry that play a little bit more than the Broncos.
Yeah, it was. And I'll tell you, Mario Williams out there had a step, and I think you're right. If Cunningham would have had another second to time that up, that might have been another touchdown. That might have been a touchdown.
Right.
Yeah. That right side has been a problem over there. And, of course, down here on the right corner is Sergio Freeman, who had the 3 interceptions last week, and they haven't been too anxious to pick on Mr. Freeman.
No, they haven't. You're exactly right.
They must have watched the film.
The film on campus.
Them, right?
So
Yeah,
3-by-1 look
Could have
here.
been. Could have been.
And to
And
one
there's a
receiver side,
fade.
number 9.
And who did they go after? They go after Freeman right after we say that. But
So that falls incomplete. Intended for number 9, Kyle Brewer. But again, falls harmlessly incomplete. Going to bring up 4th and 10.
And Brewer just didn't have enough room on the sideline to work there. But Freeman did get beat right off the ball as he's playing some press coverage.
Yeah, Brewer had a step. You're right, but just ran out of real estate there on the near sideline.
So that brings up a 4th down, and we've got Dre Reap and Sergio Freeman are back deep
All right,
for
so
Cincinnati.
big 99, Kyle Kostoff again into punt.
Reap's back in a single safety with Freeman as the short man. And here comes the kick from Kostoff. And looks like Cincinnati might bring a little pressure, and they did.
Wow.
They did, yeah.
That was
And
close.
Rush Kostoff, but so kick goes harmlessly out of bounds at about the Chiefs' own 35-yard line.
about 15-yard punt. So, gives them pretty decent field position at their own 35-yard line as the Chiefs take over. And much better defensively that time, although they did have that one blown coverage. And they're going to pay for that, Chuck, if they don't get that corrected.
Yeah, that's right. I think they need to keep getting pressure out the middle and try to throw Cunningham's timing off because you're right. If he has a little more time, he's going to exploit those holes in the defense.
Yeah, with 4:17 to go in the first period, it's 6-3. The Cincinnati Chiefs over to Butler County Broncos.
And you're listening to CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports, and on WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio, and that's Fayette County.
And, of course, we are the flagship station of the Cincinnati Chiefs.
We're the only station, I think.
I guess that
That's
makes
true.
us the
That would
flag.
That makes us the flagship. And there's a handoff and a little movement before the snap, I believe. So that's going to come back. And that was Maurice Lovett that would have been the ball carrier, but in fact, I believe it is illegal procedure.
Yeah, so that's going to make it 1st and 15 now for the Chiefs.
I guess that's, where the penalties don't really hurt them as much as the fact is they're the big play passing team. And 5 yards is 5 yards. No coach likes to give that up, but Cincinnati definitely has the stretch people to make those yards up very quickly.
Oh, that's exactly right. They've shown that, again, 5 yards may not be that much of a hindrance to them.
No, it isn't. Okay, so we've got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Davis in the shotgun, and Lovett to his left. Calls for the ball, and there's the snap, and it gets a little bubble screen out to Dre Reap.
Well, I tell you, nice job there by 21 Trevon Cordova to close, though, and keep that from turning into anything.
And that's a 2-yard loss, so that's going to make it 2nd and 12 now, or 2nd and 17. So not the way the Chiefs drew that one up.
Definitely not.
So we are moving towards the end of the first period here with 3:41 to go. Chiefs come up in a 2-by-2 set. Maurice Lovett in the backfield next to Davis. Davis looks it over. And they now have a safety planted firmly in the middle of the field there, Chuck.
Yeah, they do.
So I think they're trying to address the fact that they were just not, and a little, about a 10-yard out route.
And number 5, Norm Young on the tackle.
And that's Khalid Ali with the catch. And he's able to pick up about 10 of what they needed.
It's going to make it 3rd and about 7.
3rd and 7. And so we'll see what the Chiefs are able to dial up on this. So we've got 10 here. And so we've got a 2-by-2 or 3-by-2 set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Davis in the shotgun. Now he adjusts the formation, and they have now Lovett moves over into the trips on the right side.
The Chiefs are going to need to call a timeout here, Coach.
And it looks like a little confusion as Davis didn't want Lovett on the left side. He moved him over to the right, and it looked like he just quite wasn't where Davis wanted him to be.
Yeah, I don't know what the confusion was, but AD is not happy right
No,
now.
he is not. And, that's what you expect your quarterback to step in and take control of that. And
That's right. He's a general out there.
Yep, and that's what he gets paid for, if he got paid. Okay. We will take a look here and see. We've got as Cincinnati comes up to the line. And Davis gets the troops up. And they're going to go to the no back again with 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left.
All right. The
Davis.
Broncos again come out with 4 down linemen.
And 3rd and a long 7 for the Chiefs. They need to get to the 45-yard line to pick up a first down here. Davis drops, takes 3-step, throws it out. Ooh, and Khalid almost lost the handle on that one.
Yeah, I think he was too open on that, Coach.
He was, but he was able to advance it up to the 47-yard line. So that is a nice pickup of about 12 yards.
Yeah, nice job by the Chiefs there to run him off and create a little bit of space underneath for a lead.
Yeah, Khalid Ali picks up some nice yardage there. And another first down, so they are now the Chiefs are now in the Bronco territory. Come out, and the Chiefs line up with 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Davis with back to his right, and I believe that's Moore, and Moore just a short, maybe a 1-yard gain on that.
I think he picked up 1, but you're right. The middle of that Bronco line just swallowed him up there.
Yeah. So it was and now that is Maurice Lovett, I believe. Number 12. It was not, Maurice Lovett. So short gain for Lovett. And Chiefs come up to the line. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. And Lovett again to the left side there of Davis. Davis looks it over. He's got second and a long 9. He drops. He looks. And he's got his man open. Oh, and I think that was Evans again.
Yeah, and I think he just dropped that one, Coach.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Then
would have been a nice gain.
Yeah, he would have had him about the 12-yard line, and if he was able to keep his feet, he might have kept on going there, Chuck.
That's exactly right. But, split the coverage, and the ball was there, but just not holding it.
Yeah. So we'll see here.
A 3rd and 10 here now from about the 47-yard line.
And, like we talked about, there is no amount of yardage that's too big for the Chiefs here because they're willing to go downtown every play if necessary.
Yeah, that's right.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Appears to have Lovett in the backfield to the left of Davis. He's trying to get his a signal out to the wide receivers in the trips that he sees something.
Screen.
And a screen to Lovett. And Lovett is able to advance it from the 47 down to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, nice call there on 3rd and long.
And a pickup of 22 yards. So a nice little screen play. And we saw a little bit of that last week, Chuck, as they do like to try to run the screens because, they throw the ball downfield so much and spreads the defense out that just creates that situation where they're able to push the ball downfield.
All right, so now we're going to have 1st and 10 from about the 24-yard line here.
Okay, so the Chiefs come up to the line, and they're going to be in a 3-by-1, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Lovett in the backfield with Davis, and they look it over here, and he's looking at his ISO, and this could be a delay of game again, and it is a delay of game. So a 5-yard penalty there, and with 16 seconds to go in the first period, and I don't know, Chuck. The sun is getting pretty low here, so I don't know if that's an advantage to switch sides right here or not, because then the sun's in the quarterback's eyes. So we'll see. 3 receivers to the right, a little bubble screen. The Reap is up to the 30, over to 30, and I believe he might just get
out.
Just gets over it. He's out at the 20-yard line, so pick up a 4 yards. And so call it.
It'll be 2nd and about 6.
2nd and about 6. And that is the end of the first quarter with the score Cincinnati Chiefs 6 and the Butler County Broncos 3. And, this is what you would expect, I think, out of 2 heavyweights here, Chuck.
Yeah, that's right. Like you said, 2 heavyweights. We've got a slugfest during the first quarter.
Yeah.
And, we expected to see some offensive fireworks, but so far it's only 6-3.
Yeah, not exactly what we thought, but, defensively, both teams have been kind of hard for each offense to solve. Although the Chiefs have had some good success and found some seams, and quite honestly, should have been down on the 12-yard line in this drive, just dropped the ball down there.
Yeah, that's right. Missed opportunity there for the Chiefs to make something happen, get on the board there.
So Cincinnati will start operations there on the 20-yard line. They are moving from right to left if you're listening on WZAA. And a beautiful night here at Barnett Stadium, the home of Chris Carter Field. Yes, Chris Carter of Ohio State, Philadelphia Eagle, and Minnesota Viking fame.
Exactly.
And
the guy that could only catch touchdown passes.
He could only catch touchdown passes was the rationale for the Eagles to let him go. I think they regretted that, Chuck. But
I think they learned to. You're exactly right.
Yeah, they found out that catching touchdown passes is not necessarily a bad thing for your wide receivers. So we've got, let's see. Okay. Davis breaks them. And they're going to be in their familiar 2-by-2 set with about a 2nd and 6 from the Bronco 20-yard line. And they're just getting the clock ready to roll here for the second half. second period. We're not yet in the second half. Although we might be roasted chickens by the time we get to the halftime here, Chuck.
That's quite possible. The rotisserie is pretty hot right now.
It's about 85 degrees in here.
Oh, don't sell it short. It's at least 86, Bill. All right, so we go back to the action.
2-by-2 set for the Chiefs. Davis in the shotgun. Gives the ball to number 28, who is swallowed up by the defensive
big
front.
Number 8, Daylon
And that is
Cincinnati with a big tackle in the backfield for a loss.
And Ted Rivers on the carry. First time we've seen Ted carry it today. And Ted dropped for, looks like about a 1-yard loss. And so, this is obviously 4-down territory. We don't expect to see Cincinnati attempt a field goal here if they don't move the ball on you. So you got to believe they're thinking, oh, we've got 2 plays to pick up this 7 yards.
Yeah, exactly right. We talked about some of the kicking woes Cincinnati's had. So.
Yep. Play action. Davis drops. He looks. And,
kind of an ill-advised throw in a double coverage, and it's picked off.
It was.
4,
it was for Deontay.
That's Terry Schmitz.
That was intended for Deontay Riley, and he got bumped a little bit. I don't know if you would call that incidental or.
Yeah, but I think also too, Bill, he had coverage underneath and over the top.
Well, yeah, it was a ill-advised throw, but so did not. And that would be that is Eric Evans, I believe.
Yeah, Eric showing his displeasure a little bit for the Broncos sideline, and
Eric Evans, and he's
going to pick up a penalty for that.
And that will be a 15-yard penalty with 14:09 to go in the second period. 6-3, the Cincinnati Chiefs over the Butler County Broncos.
There's definitely some jawing going on right now.
Yeah, they really just really need to think about what they're doing to the team here, because if they keep on, you get 2 15-yard penalties, you're going to put them at midfield and put them in a much better situation than they need to be.
Yeah, and it looks like Eric has thought better of it and kind of calmed himself down a little bit. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 here for the Broncos.
So Eric Evans has been ejected from the game, which he's been a big target for him, Chuck.
Yeah, that could really hurt the Chiefs. Like you said, he's been a real weapon today so far.
Oddly, and we don't know the status on Tayshaun Edwards, who had 223 yards last week. And, Tayshaun was that big target for him. And
and Evans has kind of stepped in those shoes tonight. So we'll see who next man up will be.
Now, Paul Jones is, here.
And he's shown some breakaway speed in the past. So.
Right. And so, there's a lot of options there on that Cincinnati bench. But we'll see what happens here. So the officials are sorting it out down there. And it looks like, we're not quite sure where to, but he's carrying that ball around. So they've marked it to 40 now.
Okay, so good news there. Eric has not been ejected, so
Eric Evans
good news, still in the ball game.
Still in the game.
So 1st and 10 here from the 40 for the Broncos. Broncos come out in a 2-by-2 look. Again, back offset to the right. Cunningham surveys the defense. And Chiefs showing pressure here, and now we've got looks like we've got a little false start there. A wide receiver leaning out there at the top of the field, maybe. So that's going to bring up 1st and 15 now for the Broncos. So Broncos going the wrong direction so far in this drive.
And, one thing that people forget about when they watch a semi-pro or minor league football game is these guys all have regular jobs that they work. And so, they commit the time that they have to come to practice. So they don't get the same time that a real professional team would get to
Oh, sure. No,
practice.
You're right. They're not going to get the reps that, like you said, a pro team or even a college team or a high school team might get. So.
Oh, and big Eddie Davis breaks the line down.
Yeah, give up the middle to...
And
to Cardwell, I believe, and just swallowed up there.
wow.
That is Cardwell. So
Looks
Cardwell
like-
with a loss there, it's going to bring up 2nd and 20. So
And Eddie
Cardwell
Davis
with a
with
5-yard loss.
a 6-yard TFL. Wow. I mean, Eddie got there with a lot of urgency there, Chuck.
Yes, he did. And I'll tell you, Big Eddie gets going. You do not want to get in his way and try to stop him.
No, he can move people. No doubt about it.
Yeah, he is a people mover, no doubt.
Okay, so
All
here,
right, so 3-by-1 now, this time on 2nd and 20.
Broncos.
Cunningham again to the one receiver side. And
Oh! Number 15.
And intended for 36 Taborn, but falls incomplete. And
Chaz Morton was all over the receiver and really did a nice job running stride for stride with him, Chuck.
yeah, he really did. And I'll tell you, I don't know, Bill, but I think he might have even forced Taborn out of bounds.
I think he did.
Yeah, I didn't see any indication by the referee, but I thought I saw a step on the big white line. But again, incomplete, so the result is the same. So,
Yeah, Chaz ran him out, no doubt about it. But now he can come back in if he's
'cause
forced
he's
out.
forced. Yeah, that's right. And as long as he does right away. And
Right.
so here we've got trips to the bottom now. 3-by-1 look.
And there is pressure
Cunningham
coming.
forced out to his
And
right and just throws it
Jameel,
away.
I believe that's Jameel Peoples. Yes, it is. And Peoples was putting lots of pressure on there, Chuck.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Bill, that was dangerously close to an intentional grounding penalty. You got the number 20 was in the area, but I'm not sure that ball made it back to the line of scrimmage.
And you might be right on that.
Yeah, it looks like that there is a flag down, so we'll see what the call is.
And Jameel Peoples, who impressed us against the Hornets, just has that knack to get off the ball and put pressure on the
Yeah,
quarterback.
he does. He's got a great first step, and you're right. That gets him the edge almost every time. So they're going to talk about it now.
Jameel just needs to get himself under control sometimes because he gets a little too deep and on the plays.
Overruns it.
Yeah.
So the penalty is going to be declined, which is going to bring up 4th down here. So it was not grounding, but which would have been a loss of down anyway. But so now we've got 4th and about 20, and I'm sure we're going to see big number 99 Kostoff in to try to get a little better kick than his last attempt.
Yep.
Of course, Kostoff had a lot of pressure up the middle last time. We'll see if the Chiefs decide this time to set up a return or if they try to bring pressure again.
And back deep is Dre Reap and looks like Sergio Freeman again. Yes, it is. And I would expect that they probably will bring pressure. I mean, they had some success, and they are bringing.
Oh, and Kostoff mishandled the snap and able
sure
to get it off, but
Oh, and Reap picks it up at the 39 and up over the 46-yard line.
I'll
And
tell you, boy, Dre, that's a dangerous thing to
That
do,
was-
picking it up with the bounce, but he did a nice job fielding and got a couple yards, but whew.
yeah, those are the kind to give coaches heart palpitations.
Yeah, say, harkening back to my coaching days, I would not have liked that, but again, Dre did turn it into something.
Those are the ones you have a conference with them on the sideline. Said,
Yeah, nice job, don't
Yeah.
ever do it again.
yeah, don't think before you do. Okay, so with 12:56 to go here in the second period, 6-3, the Cincinnati Chiefs over the Butler County Broncos.
Hey, Bill, we came into this game expecting to see a lot of offensive fireworks.
Yeah, we
We've seen
did.
some great defensive plays there.
Yeah, we have. And, there's been good offense, but
Yeah, sprinkled in, though, with
the defense is, they both stiffen as you get down into the red zone, and subsequently is why we've got a 6-3 score instead of a 26-23 score.
exactly.
So Cincinnati in a 2-by-2 set, Davis under center, and much better than last week. And it looks like a 1-yard pickup for number 32.
Yeah, it was. He ran right into big number 44, Hiram Thompson, the linebacker, shutting it down quick. But, well, you're right. Bill, I can't think of one time we saw them under center last week where the exchange was clean, and that was a nice give there. And,
Yep.
it looks like the Chiefs did work on that a little bit in the limited reps we talked about they do get at practice.
Yeah. Well, last week the Chiefs had 5 fumbles and lost 4 of them.
Yeah.
And most of them were in those under center
Right.
situations. So they did clean that up, and that they had to, or else that was going to be a season-long problem for them. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Davis in the shotgun. He drops a little short 3-step. Looks to the middle again.
Uh-oh.
And he's got it looks like number 85. And if that is Deshaun Edwards, I believe it is.
It is, and number 14, Austin Howell, able to knock him down there. And I'll tell you, lucky that Howell was able to knock him off his feet because we know how dangerous Mr. Edwards is.
When Mr. Edwards gets going, man, you do not want him running.
That's for sure.
24-yard pickup, and that's going to be a first down. And we've been kind of waiting for Deshaun, and we haven't seen him, but he didn't disappoint on that one as he took a good shot too in catching the ball.
Yes, he did.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line of the Broncos. 2-by-2. And gives the ball to number 32, Tyrone Berry. And Berry squirts up to the 20-yard line.
Boy, nice jump cut there by Tyrone.
Yeah. And appears to be about a 10-yard gain for Berry. Nope, they're going to call it 9 yards.
Yeah,
so it's going to be
short. It'll be 3rd and 1. 2nd and 1.
Second and 1. So a lot of different things. 2-by-2 set. He gives it to Berry again, and why not? Berry powers it up to the 16-yard line.
Boy, and I'll tell you, Barry just kind of gets in there and hides behind those linemen. I don't know his dimensions, but he's not the tallest guy out there for sure. And he just, like I say, gets back in behind those guys. He's hard to find.
Yeah, kind of like Maurice Jones-Drew.
I know you were going to go with the MJD reference. Yeah, that's exactly right, though.
Yep, 2-by-2 set. Davis with Barry off to his left side. He looks it over. He's just taking his time here and trying to see, okay, now he's getting ready for the ball. Takes the snap, a low snap, gives it to Berry again, and Berry's up to about the 11-yard line.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it looks like the Broncos had some kind of twist on, and I think they ended up twisting right out of the hole there. Berry was able to pick up some nice yardage.
That's Berry's 4th carry. He's got 19 yards, and he is the leading rusher right at this point. Just a nice job there.
Looks like the Chiefs have found something that'll work.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So the Chiefs are knocking on the door as they get down into the red zone. They're at the 11-yard line. 2-by-2 set. Davis looks it over and gives the ball to Berry again. Berry to the 10, 5, powers it into the end zone.
Oh, no, he was already across the line, Coach.
Okay.
Nice run.
So an 11-yard run for Tyrone Berry, and that was the Tyrone Berry drive.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he's really shown some nice lateral movement, too. He had a nice jump there at the beginning of that run to find that crease and just got the pay dirt.
Yeah. And, Chuck, we saw a little bit of Tyrone in the Dayton game, but not much until the end. And apparently earned some playing time there.
Yeah, I would say so. Again, like we said, the Chiefs have really found something that works here. So I wouldn't be surprised if we may see a play action or a run here on the 2-point play.
Yep. So we have a rushing touchdown there, and they're going for 2. So we've got 3 receivers to the right.
Yeah, they're not set, unfortunately. And I'll tell you, he's not going to be happy about this because he was directing number 1. And
gives him more room, Chuck. Gives him more room.
Well, there is something to that in this part of the field. But
there are some people that believe in that philosophy.
Yeah, boy, he was trying to get Dre lined up, and Dre tried to get set, but just ran out of time there before the snap.
He sure did.
All right, so another attempt here. This time they'll be from, we'll call it the 8-yard line.
Yep. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and Davis is in the shotgun with Berry to his right. He rolls. Man, he was going to roll right into pressure there. Berry
reverses field.
Out, and he's still looking, and he throws it. Just throws it away there.
Yeah.
And really, when he rolled to the right, he needed to stop, Chuck, because Berry had set up to block the guy, and Davis ran outside his blocking.
You're right. Yep.
So.
And, of course, it's the top of the hour. You're listening to WZAA 106.9
Here's our legal
in Jeffersonville, Ohio.
Here's our legal break, Chuck.
That was the legal break. And also CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports.
Of course, our regular listeners know how worried I am about our legal status at all times. So, yeah.
Chuck,
good to know.
Chuck was well documented on that the last game.
That's right.
All right, he's back.
So we've got a 12-3 game, and nice drive by the Chiefs. The Chiefs got things together. We saw Deshaun Edwards made his appearance back in the game, and he seems to be he's one of those guys that's a lightning rod for the team that gets them going. And
Yeah, that's exactly right. But I'll tell you, the running of Barry really
Well,
impressed me there, Bill.
yeah.
Just a total shift in
Philosophy.
what we've seen out of the Chiefs this year, that to be that run heavy. But hey, if it works, go with it, right? Make them stop it.
And you're right, Barry. I mean, we look at his numbers. Barry was able to put together 30 yards on 5 carries, and that were all, 4 of those carries was in that particular drive.
Wow. The
the ball's down on the ground. A little.
Taylor finally picks it up at about the 10.
But Taylor's hemmed in.
Yeah, so he's going to pick up, we'll call it a 6-yard return. But
And number 25 was able to knock him out of bounds. That is Antoine Hill. And so Hill gets a tackle.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication. There was like number 20, Dominic Williams, was tracking the ball, but he tracked it right into 24, Donnie Taylor, unfortunately.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So need a little more communication out of the Broncos, looks like.
So I think what the Broncos need to do is get back to their ground attack and try to move the ball and use a little clock here.
Yeah, give the Chiefs a little taste of their own medicine.
Yeah, because that's how the Broncos started the game and had some good success. Had a real impressive first drive. But you can't say that Dayton didn't do the same thing. Dayton had some good running.
Yeah, that's right. The
success.
Chiefs showed that they're a second. They definitely were a second half team last week, anyway. So
Yes.
We'll see about this week. So again, 2-by-2 formation, and Cunningham with the give.
Oh.
And this time lined up, it's number 1, the running back. That's Thad Helbert, and Helbert over the left side for about, we'll call it 3 yards.
And Ricky J. Saunders came up with a lot of meaning on that one. And, limited that to a 3-yard gain. So Saunders, some new faces, Chuck, that we had not really saw a lot out of
that's right.
against the Hornets.
Another 2-by-2 look here on 2nd and 7 for the Broncos. And again, Helbert still the back.
There's the drop.
Cunningham up the middle.
Oh. Wow.
Makes a nice little juke there and slides forward. And I guess we'll call that a slide. Will be nice to Cunningham.
Yeah. I think it's a first down.
I think I want to say he's just short, Bill. We'll see what. The stick's moving, so you got me on that one.
I was going to say, it looked like he just got just enough. And a nice crowd here, Chuck. I mean, things have picked up here quite significantly since the beginning of the game.
Yeah, they have. So now another 1st and 10 here. And again, 2-by-2 look for the Broncos.
And Cunningham's looking it over. Now we got to cover 2, Chuck. But no, they keep it on the ground. Oh, nice little run there.
Yeah, Helbert is about a 14-yard gain up the middle. So I'll tell you, Helbert, come in here now. He's got 3 carries for 24 yards.
And so, and we just talked about it. Butler County's trying to get back to what they were doing originally, and it seems to be working.
Exactly. So again, 2-by-2 look. Helbert offset to the right.
On their own 42-yard line.
Well, this time, different result. Helbert over the left side, but we'll call that a 0 gain. Just gets back to the line.
And not surprising, Anthony Berry was underneath the pile on that.
No surprise at all. So now we're going to have number 3. And that is Cardwell check back in the game. Helbert comes to the sideline, gets a little breather.
Big number 93. We're going to get a massive. He's Tay Hayes, and he's in that Eddie Davis mold there. He's a big space eater in the inside.
That's what I was going to say. Space eater right there.
Yes. And, boy, I tell you what, when you get Hayes and Eddie out there at the same time.
Not a lot of places to run.
No. You got some 2-gap players there.
That's right. So 2-by-2 here again. 2nd and 10 here for the Broncos. From almost midfield. Cunningham.
Cover 3 look.
Looks, pulls it down, up the middle, and Cunningham with another nice run. So
up to about
a gain of about
48-yard line.
Call it a 9-yard gain?
Yeah, 9-yard gain. Appears to be 1 yard short of the first down. So Nice little move. He almost lost his footing on that. He tried to fake out the Chief defender, and he almost lost his feet, but was able to.
Yes, he did. So, again, another nice pickup for Cunningham.
You got to believe right here that this is probably 4-down territory.
Oh, yeah. 2-by-2 again, just inside the Chiefs' side of the football field. Cunningham surveys and moves Cardwell. There's a quick throw out to 81. Again, 81, that is
just a little quick screen, and
Ramirez,
18.
and Ramirez just not going down.
Vito Sosa.
We'll call that a 5-yard pickup there for Ramirez.
Sosa
Good enough for a first down.
Able to knock him out of bounds. And now that must have been a zone situation, Chuck, because Vito is a defensive end, and he ended up in the flats there. So, or he saw the screen pass and he was able to flow quick enough to pick it up.
Yeah, that was a pretty quick pass. I don't think he would have had time to get any kind of a rush or anything. So he's just in there by default almost in that zone. Okay, so this time we got 3-by-1, 3 receivers to the top of the field. Back offset to the right is Cardwell. Cunningham with
Here
the
comes
snap.
a rush, and Cunningham.
Cunningham under
Oh!
pressure, and he's going to get sacked there. Is that big number 59?
Yeah, and that is Kerwin, I believe.
Yeah, nice sack and an even nicer dance right there.
Keelan Woods. I'm sorry,
All
Keelan
right.
Woods. So Keelan with a, well, it looks like about a 6-yard loss there.
Easily, yeah.
So nice job by
That's going to bring up second and
Keelan
a long way here from the midfield. for the
Keelan
Broncos.
Woods with just a big sack there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that could be a momentum shifter here for the Chiefs.
Well, yeah, because they were in a 3rd and short. We were talking about it being 2-down territory.
Right. So second and long here.
5:09 to go in the first half.
Again, four wide receivers, 2-by-2, 2 on each side of the field. Chiefs showing pressure, walked up in the gaps, walked up in the A gap. And the back out, snap. Cunningham way downfield.
Well, good position by
Yeah, it was. That was nice coverage, I'll tell you. And
Sergio Freeman was just,
intended for 11 Christian Willingham, but you're right, Coach. The coverage there was excellent.
as they used to say, he was right in his jock strap on that one because there was just no place to throw that ball.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but certainly tight coverage.
Tight coverage, yes. And Sergio's very pleased with that coverage as he's talking to the fans.
Right in his back pocket. How about that?
Right, right in his back pocket. There you go.
All right, so that's going to bring up the 3rd and almost 20 here for the Broncos. Another 2-by-2 look here. Again, Cunningham with one back offset to his right, and actually going to be a little bit of a pistol look here.
4:49 to go.
And a draw right at the middle to number 3.
Oh.
That's Cardwell, and a nice little game. Picks up about 8.
Yeah.
But again, that's going to bring up 4th and about 11. So,
And I just think right at this situation, you need about 11 or 12 yards for first down. The Broncos aren't willing to give the ball to the Chiefs there at midfield.
no, I think you're right. This is a situation where I would say,
we might be wrong about that,
I
Chuck.
think we are. We get proved wrong again because Kostoff has not come on the field.
I guess
Cunningham trots back out.
There's 2 ways to think about it. One way is that you don't want to let Cincinnati get too far ahead if they go down and score again. So, this is penetration into the Chiefs' territory, so they're going to stay with it.
Yep, 2-by-2 look here. Again, big 4th down play here for the Broncos.
4 minutes ago, second period.
And now the back splits,
Drop.
goes out to the right and running a circle route here. Looks like Cunningham's looking for him. He's open. He slips and falls down.
Oh,
I'll tell you, intended for number 3, Cardwell, but
he was open.
He was too. He ran a nice circle route there, but the turf monster just got up and bit him there. And it was a shame for the Broncos there.
It grabbed him, Chuck.
It sure did.
And so, right now, do you go deep on this, Chuck? Because, a lot of coaches like to go on that first down.
This would be the quick turn, right?
Yeah.
Right here on
Yep.
Yeah, the Chiefs have certainly shown that they have big playability. So
And they're not scared to go deep on
that's
it.
that's exactly right. So I wouldn't be surprised, but also again 346. The Chiefs might just be happy just to keep that running attack going and
Yeah.
eat up the rest of this half.
Yeah, and they got Barry going, and maybe you don't want to cool off the hot hands, so you just keep on giving them the ball.
The Barry train is rolling right now. So
the Barry train. Let's see if we've still got. No, I think we've got Maurice Lovett back in it, though.
I don't know. I think that might be Barry, Coach.
Okay. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and
Nope, you're right. That is Lovett. My fault.
and we've got, I believe, a legal procedure.
Need to get Lovett to pull his jersey down in the front.
Yeah, that does make it difficult when you can only see half the number. But understand the heat factor there, and
Yes, we do. We certainly do.
Summer football. I mean, football was originally intended for the fall and winter.
Yes, not designed for June, is it?
No.
But, regardless, we got some great football here tonight.
Oh, fantastic PAFL football right here on Campus Nation as we have the Cincinnati Chiefs and the Butler County Broncos.
So look at
We've
this,
got
5 wide.
we got a 5. We got
No,
we got
we
3
got
by 1.
3
We
by
got
1.
3 by 1. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Davis throws it quickly.
And that play looked like it had trouble from the beginning, Coach. I don't know. It didn't look like they quite
Well,
were set. And
it appeared to me that Butler County knew that was coming the way they were playing. They overplayed that pretty heavily. And, and again, we don't know the level of scouting that goes on in this league, where they might get film. Of course, Campus Nation might have been.
we know there was film of the Chiefs last game. That's right.
Yes. And so, you never know where the scouting parts are. They might send people out to watch the games.
All right, so 2 by 2 look here for the Chiefs.
And Davis with his back to the left. I believe that's still Lovett. And he drops and he looks.
Broncos coming hard off the edge.
Davis. He loses the handle. And this could be 6.
Scooped
Picked up by number
14.
14. And he's going to take it to the house.
Austin Howe with a scoop and score there for the Broncos. So.
And just like that, with 2:52 to go, 12-9 in favor of Cincinnati with the point coming. So, wow.
Boy, I didn't get the number on the sack, but you had a strip sack there and scoop and score. Great defensive stand right there for the Broncos.
Yep. And so Davis, who had been pretty good in, ball protection this game, a costly fumble there, though.
Yeah, and again, we talked last week about turnovers and the Chiefs, and, they were lucky last week. They didn't get burnt by a lot of them, but, boy, that one hurt right there.
Yeah. Cuts it to a 3-point lead and appears I don't know that there would be an advantage really other than if you don't have confidence in your kicking game to go for 2 here. Because if you make it, it's 12-10, so your field goal wins it for you.
Although I don't think anyone thinks that's going to be the last score of the game.
Yeah, that is very true.
It looks like big number 99, the kicker, is out there, so big Kyle Kostoff, so I'd say they're going to go for 1 here, but I don't know. Was there a...
I guess I'm thinking of the old Woody Hayes days when they would be playing for...
Looks like we've got a penalty, though, Coach, I believe. Unsportsmanlike against the Broncos on that touchdown, so...
Oh, it was holding the ball up as he was taunting? So I didn't know. Again, we're not sure. Now, in the NFL relaxed those kind of rules. Although I don't know if you can hold the ball up as you run.
I think during play you still can't do that. I don't know, but
right.
But they're going to enforce it on the kickoff now, so they will go up to the spot now at the normal PAT spot. So,
and we've got Kostoff for the extra point for the Broncos. So Kostoff gets ready.
There's the snap. Bad snap. Scoop picked up by 20. The holder.
And he loses the handle, and he ends up short. So, with
20, Dominic Williams trying to make something happen there, but Nada. So that's going to leave it to 12-9 with 2:52 to go here in the half. Your Chiefs up 12-9.
And who was the young man that picked that up, the scoop and score, Chuck?
That was number 14.
And we'll get
double
I
check
think
his
that's
name. That's Austin Howell.
Austin Howe. So
Not to be confused with Thurston Howell. The third.
Nice Gilligan Island segue there, Chuck.
See, I was going to see if anybody out there got that, but you just gave it away. Thought we might get some audience participation.
There you go. We tried to. And so Austin Howell, with a fumble recovery.
Yeah, nice little scoop and score.
And Kostif's extra point was no good. And so we've got the 12-9 game. And, it would be what you would expect, Chuck, out of two undefeated teams. About as close as you can get without it being separated by extra point.
Yeah, that's right. And like I talked about a little bit ago, I think we both expected to see a lot more points on the board. We thought it'd be a close game, but
yep.
It's been an
an onside attempt picked up by number 5 for the Chiefs, and he's got the sideline. He's to the 30, down to the 20, and out of bounds at about the 16-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by number 5, Eric Evans, on the return. And again, Eric, taking advantage of some great field position there, and now the Chiefs have it inside the red zone here with just inside 3 minutes to go here in the half. So I don't know what happened on that kick, if that was a designed onside or Kossoff slipped. I didn't see it, but
maybe who knows?
Given the field position, that maybe the element of surprise there. I don't know.
That's what I was saying. Maybe they thought they would get them when they're they've got them. Their focus has changed, but a nice effort there by Eric Evans. He scooped that up and took off and went with it, and a heads-up play.
Yeah. It looks like we've got another running back in the game this time, number 31.
And number 31, we'll get to him in a second here. We've got 2x2 set from the 16-yard line. Davis gets ready to take the ball, and he looks it over.
31, that's Antonio Banks. So
Antonio Banks with his opportunity to carry a ball, and Banks just bangs it in there, and I'm not even sure he got to the 16-yard line.
He put his head down, but you're right. I don't think he got anything there, Coach. And you're right. The spot they're gonna say he lost about 2, so it's gonna bring up 2nd and 12 now from about the 18-yard line.
Yeah. And so as we saw last week, we were seeing a steady change of running backs in the game, and although Banks just exited, so we'll see who's back in.
Yeah,
and it looks like it might be Lovett.
Yeah, I believe it is Lovett, Coach. Yep, number 12.
So we've got a 2x2 set with Davis in the shotgun. He drops 3 steps. He looks. He's able to. And Evans drops what should have been a catch at about the 8-yard line.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he had to go down to get it, and I think that just threw Eric's timing off a little bit there where he just couldn't reel it in.
Yeah. So we've got 3rd and 12.
Yeah, Chiefs are going to take a timeout here, Coach. I believe that'll be their 3rd and final.
Yeah. And, it might be, we saw the Chiefs run this last week, is the short crossing route, if they can get the time for that to develop and get them across to the open flat on the other side of the field.
Yeah, you're right. That was a great play for them last week. But I'll tell you, the pressure the Broncos have been getting off the edge, I'd be leery to run those crossing routes today. Just a little too long to set up.
Well, Davis's drops, he takes a 3-step drop out of a shotgun where he's, already 5 or 6 yards deep. So he's getting back to 9. So you would think at 9 yards you would be able to do that, but that hasn't been the case, as you said, because the Broncos have been applying.
Yeah, there's been a lot of pressure.
Yeah, quite a bit of pressure. So with 1:56 to go, I'm always here trying to distract Chuck some way.
Yes, you are, Bill.
So we got Oh. Yeah, that's for sure. So anyhow, Cincinnati talks it over as they come out here. They need 12 yards to keep the drive alive. Of course, they are at the 17-yard line and would like to tack some points on here.
Yeah, they are. They got plenty of time here. We're just inside the 2-minute mark here. So
I'm going to put the coaching cap on you, Chuck. Do you think at this situation, say that they were able to complete the ball down to the 10 at 4th and 5, do you think they would try a field goal at that point?
Given that they haven't kicked the ball once today, I'm going to say no.
Okay. I just thought I'd run that by you. We've got a 3-by-2 set, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Davis takes his drop and keeps on dropping. And a little comeback route by Deontay Riley. And Riley, 13 yards or 17 yards.
Yeah, nice job there. And I'll tell you, if we can get the number there, it looks like number 5. I want to give a shout out to number 5. Eric Evans there with a nice block there.
Yeah, Deontay, that's his first catch of the game for a touchdown. So with 1:45 to go, Cincinnati is back on the board. And so
a sideline warning just issued against the Broncos, coach. Something to keep an eye on for the second half.
Yep.
So 18-9 now. With the PAT forthcoming, let's see what the Chiefs do.
Yep, and we'll see if the Chiefs are going to, in fact, yes, they are. They're going to go for 2, and no big surprise, as Chuck has said. The kicking game has been somewhat of an adventure, so why not go with, something to get a little bit better chance at?
Right.
Okay, we've got 3 receivers to the right, one to the left.
Down here to the bottom.
Yeah. And a little quick out, and
yes, nice job reaching it out there.
And I think that's Deontay Riley.
That's Deontay again there with a nice job on the catch to just extend the ball out over the end line there.
So Riley, so that pushes it out to 20-9 with 1:45 to go in the first half. And Deontay was able to scoop that up and get it in there, and. That's the one thing. Cincinnati has a lot of opportunistic players. They step up and at different times. We saw Barry come in, had a nice series. Deontay Riley has a touchdown catch, and then he gets the extra point. So, the Chiefs continue to show all the different weapons that they have.
Yeah, that's a great point, Bill. You hear it all the time said about Bill Belichick in the NFL, and one of his things is he tries to take away the opponent's number one weapon. Well, I'll tell you, preparing to take on these Chiefs, I don't know who you take away. They've shown, weapons from, like you said, every possible place.
Yep. So we've got a 20-9 game, and so if you're the Broncos, if you don't get real good position on this, Chuck, do you just sit on it and go in down 11, or you try to put something together?
Well, I think what you said is key, the field position, because they don't want to get in a position where they're going to give up.
So that's going to be a re-kick.
The ball back in their own end of the field to the Chiefs. So yeah, kickoff goes out of bounds there at about the 25, and
so I think they'll get a choice on that. They could.
Yeah, it looks like
it comes up to the third. Now I don't know how the NFL does it. I know. Well, I do know that they have a choice on it whether they want a re-kick or.
Yeah, and it looks like they're not going to re-kick.
So they're going to take it at the
40-yard line. At the 40.
So we learned something today because in high school it goes to the 35-yard line if it goes out of bounds. So
Bill, I don't know about you, but I try to learn something every day.
I try, Chuck, but it's so crowded in there; it's hard to wedge things.
I was going to say, as many days as you've had, you've probably learned a lot of things by now.
Well, yeah, I guess my age is catching up with me, Chuck.
You said it.
Yeah,
I implied it, but you said it.
Yeah, I did.
So, all right, 2-by-2 look here for the Broncos at their own 40. So again, decent field position here. Let's see if they do come out and try to make something happen here.
Yeah, and we will see what kind of defensive package.
Right, so we've got a different back now too, number 20.
We got press coverage all the way across the board.
Cunningham rolls, steps up, and intended for number 36.
Oh, and they're going to call.
Yeah, we're going to have some pass interference.
They're going to call number 8, Pierre Savage Hunter, with interference on that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Pierre, with some savage interference right there. intended for number 36, and
Yeah, it was. So that's going to advance the ball up here.
intended for Taborn again, but again,
Should
Taborn,
move it up to, I would believe it's going to move it up now. Yeah,
well, that would be a spot foul, I think,
45,
according to the NFL rules. So,
right, 45-yard line.
Yeah, so it's going to bring up a 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line of the Chiefs.
Yep.
And need to get the chains moved over there, guys.
Okay.
So we may have a little delay here on the snap.
So little
Go.
press coverage going on as they're getting
2-by-2 look again.
getting right in the grills on the corners. Slot corners a little bit. Oh, nice catch.
Yes, it was. So again, Taborn again, and went down kind of awkward there. It looks like number 15.
Chaz Morton.
Yeah, Morton kind of fell on his knee, it looked like there. And I'll tell you, Taborn went down immediately, and he's in some obvious discomfort.
Yeah, and he is a nice target. I mean, a big kid.
Yes,
and,
he is.
In great operating position here for hopefully Taborn is all right, but got the ball down to the 26-yard line, and Butler County is in business here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, and Taborn, just from my preliminary stats, he's got 3 catches for over 50 yards right now, so that would be a big loss for the Broncos if he's knocked out for any length of time.
Yep. So, was last week we had that injury, of course, that delayed the game for about a half hour as we waited for the ambulance to get in there.
So, Taborn is up. That's good news. And helped to the sideline by some players. And, yeah, a little ginger, but again, he took a good shot to that left knee. So, just to see him up and being able to put any weight on is a good sign. So, best wishes to Mr. Taborn there.
Hey, got to like the Broncos uniforms here. Kind of reminiscent of Boise State Broncos.
Yes, they are.
And we're seeing, of course, all sorts of different uniforms now in professional football as they're trying to do the basketball thing with the different jerseys and things. It's all about marketing.
You okay, man?
Well, you can sell more jerseys if you offer more jerseys,
That's
right?
exactly right.
Yeah.
If it happens to be in a color you like.
That's right. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 here. We've got a empty backfield now, 3-by-2 look for the Broncos from the Chiefs' 27-yard line.
And at least on the short side, they're up in press coverage, but looks like it might be a combo coverage
I
here.
think you're right, Coach. We got maybe man under zone on top.
Yeah.
So we've got a delay here. Let's see what the little problem with the clock, I believe.
Of course, on this side, you've got Sergio Freeman back there, and Sergio is like if you throw the ball there, it's like sailing into the Bermuda Triangle.
Yes.
So
okay, so now we're going to have motion from top to bottom. So
got an overload over here. Yeah, they picked it up well.
Yeah, Cunningham rolls out to his left and whips it over to the left. And complete to number 9.
And a nice sure tackle by number 9, Ricky Saunders.
So 9 on the catch and 9 on the tackle. Brewer on the reception. We'll call it 6 yards.
And Ricky did a nice job just making sure he didn't gain any more yardage, which has kind of plagued the Chiefs here.
Yes, it has. Little RAC.
Yep.
All right, so they kind of catch
Oh,
him with a
nice
little
stiff
run
arm.
here. Number 3, that is.
And
Cardwell
Deion
again.
Conley with the tackle.
And let's see, we'll call that now we're going to have a Broncos timeout. So Cardwell with what we have there, Coach, an 8-yard gain?
Yeah, it appears to be. And, Conley took the worst of that hit as he got bowled over on that.
Yes, he did. I'll tell you, Cardwell hit the hole, and he had a head of steam.
Yeah.
As he was coming downhill, that's for sure.
So Butler County with 21 seconds, and they don't have a lot of time to work here, Chuck.
No, they don't, but they're threatening to get right back in this year. They've got the ball in decent field position here. Yeah, and again, with 21 seconds to go here in the half, we'll see if they can make something of it.
Yeah, a touchdown would be very welcomed here for the Broncos. And, Cincinnati just can't lose them here. They seem to, get a lead. They were up, get up by 11. And if the Broncos are able to score here, depending on what they do on the extra point, there's no breathing room again.
Okay, so Broncos break the huddle here coming out of the timeout, and it looks like we've got a 3-by-1 look.
And I'd watch that middle slot there because and they go to a backside post. Beautiful
Touchdown.
catch.
Beautiful throw, beautiful catch.
And that was against Sergio Freeman. So, I mean, that was...
So they beat the man coverage there. And again, that's number 81. Get a name for that. Go with that number. That is Mario Ramirez. So Ramirez with another nice gain there, this time for a touchdown.
So Ramirez with what was that yardage on that, Chuck?
16-yard touchdown.
16 yards from Cunningham.
And just like that, they're back in it.
With 16 seconds to go.
So this is interesting here. We got a timeout here before the PAT.
So if you go for 2 here, you make it a 3-point game. I don't think there's much of a decision to be made here. I think you go for the 2. Because either way, you're going to, if you kick it, you still need a touchdown.
Yeah, that's right. I think, but I think even though we haven't had a lot of scoring, I think, you have to think that these teams are going to score several more times at least each in the second half. So, I guess as a coach, I wouldn't be too concerned about pulling within 3 at this point.
You just got to pull out your little chart and see what your chart tells you to do.
That's exactly what I would do. That's right. Every coach has one.
Yep. Urban's a little bit different than everybody else's, however.
Well, Urban does a lot of things different.
Yes,
than everybody else.
Yeah, he does. That's what makes him a little bit more successful than the other guys, I guess.
That's right. All right, so they are going to go for 2 here.
Okay.
And we're going to have, looks like we're going to have a tight end here. And we're going to have, twins to the right and a tight end to the right. Single receiver.
Looks like
to
a
the left.
power formation to the right here, Chuck.
Yeah, we may get that backside post again, though, or a slant. And I think Cunningham.
Oh, it was like a shovel pass.
Oh, it was.
Wow. That was a very, very tricky play there, Chuck.
Tricked me, I can tell you that. So
very nice. And that was to number, can't see, is that 21 or 81?
I didn't get the number.
He's right down there. He's got the...
I see him all fired up, and that's 81.
81. That's the same guy that caught the touchdown
that's
pass.
Ramirez, right? Mario Ramirez again. So
right.
2 scoring plays in a row for Mario.
Kind of like
Mario
he had to try to up Deontay because Deontay did the same thing. Caught the touchdown pass and got 2-point conversion.
That's right.
So that pushes it out with 16 seconds to go, 20-17 in favor of the Cincinnati Chiefs. And what a game, Chuck.
Yeah, I tell you, everything we expected now, I think we're seeing. First quarter, very, very good defense, very few points, but second quarter, both teams have opened it up. And, yeah, we've got a 3-point game here, 2017 with just 16 seconds to go here. So,
and we hope all our viewers on Campus Nation are enjoying this game because
this cameraman that the Broncos have down there on the field, it looks like what he's actually got is a drone with a camera on it.
I saw it flying earlier.
That's right, and so now he's using the camera part to do the recording.
Right.
Interesting.
So
I can hear Rick's wheels turning right now.
Kostiff gets it deep to number 3, Sergio Freeman. And Freeman's able to get it out to the 34-yard line.
Okay, so we're going to have it, looks like, I believe, a sideline warning this time on the Chiefs.
About a 28-yard return there for Freeman.
And it is. So now we've had a sideline warning on each team.
So Sergio with a 27-yard return.
Yeah, it looks like the Chiefs had another middle return on there, and Sergio just couldn't get there in time to take full advantage. But
so 8 seconds. I don't know, Chuck. You would think you wouldn't do anything that would take a chance in turning the ball over here, where it could be taken back for a touchdown.
Well, I think you're right, and especially after the result was that two series ago where the
the ball came loose.
Yeah, we had a scoop and score situation, and you're right. I think the Chiefs want to avoid that. They want to go in and protect this lead a little bit.
Okay, we've got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Davis under center, and he pitches the ball to
Oh, my goodness.
Maurice. Oh, and it's picked off. Love it.
Yeah.
On a halfback pass. And Lovett is the backup quarterback for the Chiefs.
Well, and again, Coach, they show why we're in the booth and no longer coaching. But that is going to be the last play of the half. So what a way to end an exciting first half of football here.
Yep. And so at halftime, it is the Cincinnati Chiefs 20 and the Butler County Broncos 17. And Chuck, like we said, about what we expected as far as the game being close in that. And I'm not quite sure what's going on here in the middle of the field, as they've got some jawing going on.
Yeah, we had a little chippiness earlier in the game.
And the last thing they need is to get players, kicked out at halftime, which will change the whole complexion of this.
Oh, you're exactly right, Bill. So looks like cooler heads are starting to prevail down there. And
yeah, hopefully the coaches are saying, hey, are you outside of your mind here? You don't want to get yourself ejected. So anyhow, Chuck, let's review this a little bit and see how everything's going here at halftime. We'll come up with some stats and see. So we've got Antonio Davis attempted 16 passes. He completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So Antonio Davis was 11 of 16. He had 2 touchdown passes. And we will try to get those numbers for you as far as his yardage. Then when Chuck gets his added up, I'll do my adding, and we'll come back to that. Maurice Lovett had 1 attempt, which was an interception, and Antonio Davis had 1 interception in the first half. So there was 2 turnovers for the Chiefs. And then for kick returns, we had Paul Jones, 1 for 24. And we had number 5, Eric Evans, 1 for 20 on that onside kick he picked up and skirted back upfield. And then number 3, Sergio Freeman with a 27-yard return. Punt returns, we had Dre Reap, 1 for 7 yards. In terms of rushing, Blake Moore, 2 carries for 7 yards. We had Antonio Davis, 1 carry for -10, which resulted in a fumble lost. Maurice Lovett, 2 carries for 1 yard. Then we had Ted Rivers, 1 carry for -1 yards. Then we had number 32, Tyrone Berry, and Berry was able to be an effective rusher for the Chiefs. He had 5 carries for 30 yards. And then number 31 for the Chiefs, and I do not have his number here.
You've got his number, Bill.
Do I have his
You just
number?
don't have his name.
Oh, okay.
And I don't either.
Okay. So if somebody can help us out with that, we'd appreciate it.
31, that's Antonio Banks.
Antonio Banks.
Yep.
So Banks has 1 carry for -2 yards. Receiving-wise, Deshaun Edwards, 1 for 24. Deontay Riley, 2 for 16, and a touchdown reception and a 2-point conversion. Then we had Maurice Lovett, had 2 catches for 51 yards. We had number 1, Dre Ripe, was able to catch 2 for 2 yards. Number 16, Khalid Ali, had 2 for 22. And then number 83, Eric Evans, 2 for 31 and a touchdown. Chuck, do you have some numbers there?
Yeah, Cunningham, the quarterback for the Broncos, I've got him at 8 for 13 for 80 yards with 1 touchdown and 1 2-point conversion. Leading rusher for the Broncos has been Thad Helbert, and he had 34 yards on 4 carries. Cardwell had 6 carries, but for about 22 yards. So Leading receiver has been Mario Ramirez. Ramirez has 4 catches with 1 touchdown and 1 2-point conversion. Taburn, before he got hurt, had 3 nice catches and just about 50 yards on those 3 catches. So, again, the Broncos have managed to spread the ball around quite a bit, just like the Chiefs have in this first half, and I'm sure we'll be looking to be doing the same in the second half. But again, we'll keep an eye out and see if Tabor is able to return because he showed that he's been a major weapon for the Broncos so far.
He's a big target.
Yes, he is.
And looking at getting back to Antonio Davis, had a minute there to add up his yardage. He was 11 of 16 for 138 and 2 touchdowns. So a nice half for Antonio. The negative for him was he lost the fumble that resulted in a touchdown.
Or resorted.
And then on defense, Anthony Berry, 3 tackles. Jameel Peoples, a hurry. Big Eddie Davis with a tackle for a loss. Vito Sosa had a tackle for a loss and a sack. And
big sack.
And
Vito's sack was big.
Yep. And 9-yard variety. And then 59, Keelan Woods was able to pick up a 6-yard sack. So been some consistent pressure by the Chiefs on Cunningham. And really in the middle of it was pretty much Cincinnati in the middle part of the half. But it started out with Butler County, and it kind of finished with Butler County there. So,
yeah, that's right. And we knew Butler County had a strong defense coming into this game, only giving up 12 points on the season. But, again, the Chiefs have racked up 20 in just the first half. So
yep.
I'm sure the Broncos are a little shell-shocked as far as defensively what they need to figure some things out here in the second half.
Let's check in with the boss here. Boss, how's the internet working for us? Does it seem to be?
It's as well as can be expected. Of course, we were expecting to be on the network here, but so we're using our backup here.
Well, not me. I have low expectations. So.
Yeah, you got a good picture going on there.
And we've got our
the 4-leaf clover. I think I see a 4-leaf clover there.
One of our cameramen here, Cody Schweitzer, checking in with us here. So it's a little warm out there, Cody.
It's actually cooling off a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
The sun is starting to set here in Middletown. So
imagine they'll have to fire up the lights here.
Okay. Yeah, I would think. Of course, we're getting into the longer part of the summer days, so they won't be kicking the lights on as early as they did when we were over in Dayton, which only seems like it was a month ago, but it was a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm going to turn this over to Rick, and Rick can't do that yet, and Chuck and I are going to go stretch our legs here at halftime. So, I guess we didn't know what to expect out of Butler County. Of course, they were in a different league, and they've come over here, and they've made a really good account of themselves coming from the BCFL as the champs last year.
Yeah, they really have. Like you said, we weren't really sure what to expect, but we've seen a very good brand of football here today, and a lot of excitement.
2 games. We've had 2 good games, I guess. And you look at the crowd here tonight. This is a nice Butler County crowd for a summer night, Saturday night. Not a lot of people think about going to football games, but in Middletown apparently they do.
Yeah, that's right. We've been blessed so far. We're 2 for 2 with good home crowds. We had a nice crowd at Dayton 2 weeks ago, and we've got a good crowd here. And we want to make sure to invite all of our viewers and listeners to get a chance to come on out to the ball game. I believe, Bill, am I wrong? Next week we are the Chiefs are at home. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have next Saturday. The Chiefs will be home against the Indianapolis Tornadoes, and then on the 16th they host the Dayton Hornets in a rematch. On Saturday, June 23rd, they are at the Lima Steam, and then on Saturday, June 30th. These Butler County Broncos are down in Cincinnati to take on the Chiefs. On Saturday, July 7th, the Chiefs take on the Ohio Crush. and then they finish up the season on July 14th against the defending national champion Columbus Fire.
So, pretty good lineup that we can expect here on Campus Nation.
And with that, I'm going to turn this over to Rick for a few minutes, and I will be back in a second.
I want to remind everybody that this is CampusNation.com, the sports animal, your home for high school and college sports. And we're also broadcasting live in Fayette County over WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. And don't forget, we've got our on WZAA, the morning show, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., and you can find just about anything occurring on the morning show, from Field and Stream to Old Man's Wednesday, but tune in, and that you can find on our Campus Nation stream as well on our WZAA stream at WZAALPFM.com. Got about 2.5 minutes to go in the halftime. And the lights, they've just turned on, so it'll take a little while for the mercury to heat up. Once again, reminding everybody, we're just using right now the bandwidth off of one of our phones. We had thought that everything was clear for us to get access to the network here at the stadium, and that was not the case. We supposedly had a password to get on the network here, but the password is incorrect. So we're doing this via the phone, and hopefully the picture that you're getting is of HD quality. Certainly. That's the kind of quality that we expect from these broadcasts, and we'll make sure that when we're at home there in Western Hills that everything is set so that we can go forward with these live broadcasts to all our fans out there on Campus Nation and WZAA. Score right now, it is the Cincinnati Chiefs 20 and the Butler County Broncos 17. It's been a close game. We're now under a minute to go before we start the second half of this game. Each quarter being 15 minutes. We play primarily similar to NFL rules. There are a few changes, a few tweaks in it, if you will, as far as the way that we play. Tell him to push. Oh. Just before the end of the half, they were a little chippy there. I don't know what was going on the field, but where are the police when you need them? Oh, wait a minute. I think most of Butler County, they are police.
I heard that.
Crowd control. All right. All you have to do is push. Bill was born in a barn.
I believe we're going to have Walter Seal here pretty soon, the owner of the West Virginia Black Knights.
So Walter did manage to make it, huh?
He's
He's somewhere in Middletown.
He's somewhere in Middletown. So
right. Okay. Well, this stadium is much like finding your way to our studio in Jeffersonville. If you use GPS, you probably will never get here.
Yes. And Chuck was having the same feelings we were having when we pulled into the high school. I was thinking, it's going to be hard to play on that rubble over there.
Well, Chuck was also told that the field was at the high school by somebody. So.
Well, that's what I was told, too.
We were actually given two different locations
yes.
for where the broadcast and the field was going to take place.
Have to apologize to Chuck for that one.
But this stadium has been here, so I'm not sure exactly what it
Shouldn't
is.
have been any confusion. Yeah.
No, because my assumption is that Middletown has played at this stadium for a number of years.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But if you go on the internet, it does not have this address as where the stadium is.
Maybe they moved it.
Well,
I don't think so.
but it has the address for the school
Right.
as where the field is. So, anyhow, it is what
Ready?
it is. We're here now.
That's
So,
right. So, just a few minutes left here at halftime, and we're getting ready to get back to the action.
Yep.
Again, we've got the Cincinnati Chiefs over the Butler County Broncos, 20-17. Both teams come into today's game undefeated. The Chiefs and Broncos have both scored a lot of points. The Broncos have shown a very strong defense this season up to this point, but only giving up 12 combined points in 5 games, but giving up 20 here in the first half. So, we'll see what happens. We expect to see more fireworks during the second half.
and one of those big players that from last week's game we see right down here on the sideline shaking hands with a lot of the Broncos is T.J. Harris, the running back who had the tremendous second half. Had a 75-yard run there at the end of the Hornets game. So both teams get ready for the second half kickoff. And Cincinnati will receive as they deferred the coin toss in the first half. Chuck, your ideas of what the approach will be for the Broncos in the second half?
Well, I think they're just going to have to come out and score more points than the Chiefs do, Bill. I know, but
Chuck is the master of the obvious many times here.
In all seriousness, I think that
you can't get expert analysis like this anymore.
it doesn't get any better than that. I think that the Broncos have got to try to find a way to shut the Chiefs down a little bit and slow them down.
Right.
Again, like we talked about, they've already given up more points in one half than they've given up the entire season so far. So, they need to get a stop and try to get things clicking themselves on offense, which they showed they could do there a little bit at the end of the first half. So,
right.
We'll see what happens. So,
I think for the Chiefs, they've just got to keep on doing what they're doing, but they need to protect the ball.
I agree. Too many turnovers.
Yeah, if they protect the ball better, they can get a hold of this game.
So a little confusion here on the kickoff for Butler County. We need to count our guys up, I guess, and see.
Back deep for the Chiefs is Dre Reap and Sergio Freeman. And we still have a hold up. 15 minutes up on the clock. Clock looks good. And everybody's throwing their hands up in the air and like they don't care. And we're not quite sure what's going on.
Yeah, I caught that.
Hey, thanks, Chuck.
Yep.
It's that affirmation I look for. It's just once I get affirmed by Chuck, I just feel like I can get ready for this second half.
That's my job, Bill. Positive daily affirmation.
That's why you do what you do for a living, Chuck.
That's right.
Chuck molds young minds on a daily basis. Well, not daily basis.
Not
recent.
today.
Not today. But and sooner or later we will get to the kickoff here,
Yeah, they're threatening to start the second half here, but
they're threatening, but yet we've had no success here with it. So, and they're looking it over. Of course, next week, Indiana.
that's the clock operator coming up the stairs right now. So.
Oh, that could be the holdup, I think.
Yeah.
The next week the Indianapolis Tornadoes come to Cincinnati, and one of those. One thing about this league we've looked at is you've got numerous teams in the Cleveland area. You've got a couple teams down in the Cincinnati area, but Indianapolis is a standalone franchise in Indiana. So, hopefully our friends in Indiana will tune in next week to hear the action against the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's right. I know we have quite a following in the Hoosier State, so
We're going to build that, Chuck. We're going to build that. Everywhere we go, we intend to build the awareness of the Campus Nation WZAA sports giant as we add professional football to our list of things that we do. And we're almost ready for the kickoff again.
And looks like we've got the officials coming on the field, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. And 9 out of the 11 have their helmets on. So
Another positive. Yeah.
we're moving in the right direction there. But okay, so
But again,
Kostiff is getting ready.
I was just going to say, Bill, great night for football. We've got I see a lot of families here, a lot of young kids. This is a nice atmosphere to see a nice football game on a beautiful summer evening.
Yes, indeed. So we are getting ready for the kickoff again for the third time. And Dre Reap and Sergio Freeman back deep for the Chiefs. And of course, we have seen some interesting action on these kickoffs. And as Dre Reap fielding at the 16, he's up to the 30, across the 30 to 40, over to 45, almost all the way out to the 50-yard line.
I'll tell you, Coach, number 11, Christian Willingham, saved. It was probably going to be a touchdown there. Dre had a nice cut back, and he had a lot of green grass in front of him.
Yeah, Dre was he had a head of steam, and he knew where he wanted to go to on that, Chuck.
He sure did.
And so and we will get we have not seen Paul Jones back on these kickoff returns, which leads me to believe he was in for the first one. He may not be healthy because he did get hurt or banged up against
yeah, he did.
Dayton.
That's right.
But Dre let it be known that he's a viable alternative in the kick return game there.
He has certainly proven to be. So 1st and 10 here, right at midfield.
2-by-2 set. We've got Antonio Davis. And I believe that could be, it's T.J. Harris. And Harris picks up 5 yards. And we had talked about Harris a little bit with last week's efforts. And
yeah, I'll tell you, Harris, very similar style to Barry.
Yeah.
And, kind of a squatty back and a nice little cut there in the hole and nice pickup.
What we were surprised by was how his ability to get outside last week.
Yeah.
And he got there in a hurry when he went to the edge.
That's right.
And, 2-by-2 set. 2nd and 5 for the Chiefs. Davis with Harris flanked to his right. And this should be a free play. Harris up to the 40, over to 40, down to the 37-yard line for the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're going to decline that penalty, Bill, because they've got a first down right there.
Yep.
And nice run off the right edge by Harris.
And they're going to take that 7-yard gain, and why not?
And there we go. Harris out. Barry enters the game.
Yeah. Well. And, we talked to David Poole Thursday, and he said that he liked to wear people out by bringing fresh legs on offense and defense, and we're seeing just that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They definitely played into that.
Yeah, they don't stick with any particular backs or receivers on offense for any long period of time, and they bring in fresh people. And of course, on defense, they rotate pretty liberally there.
Right.
2-by-2 set.
First down here
at the 37-yard line. And there's Barry again, and Barry's up for about a yard gain, squirts maybe 2 yards as he squirts up to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, just over the right side there. And
Tyrone Barry. And Tyrone's going to see if he can get his engine started up again here.
That's right. It might have been Dylan DeLuccio there on the tackle. One of the linebackers for the Broncos here.
And, some impressive size on the Broncos' offensive and defensive lines. They are.
Yeah, that's for sure. They've got some size.
They got some beef. 2-by-2 set. Davis with Barry offset to his left. Kind of surprised by the snap there, but he gets it out. And it is complete at the 30 down to the 25, Khalid Ali. And he gets it... is able to pick up about an 11-yard gain.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Austin Howell there with a nice little stop there. I think the receiver had kind of fallen down. It looked worse than it was, but Howell did a nice job cleaning it up there.
Ali, that's his 3rd catch of the night for 33 yards.
I'll tell you, one thing we've seen is that the Chiefs have been taking advantage of the respect being shown to them by the Broncos. The Broncos are dropping a lot of guys deep, and
Yeah.
the Chiefs are cutting a lot of routes off underneath and getting open in the flats.
Right. Okay, 2-by-2 set with Barry to the left of Davis. Davis gives to the Barry. Barry's up to the 25, over to 25, and down to the 22-yard line. So, Tyrone Barry with a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, DeLuccio again in on the stop for the Broncos.
And DeLuccio's done a nice job inside there.
Yeah, he kind of controls that middle for the Broncos.
Kind of like the way Anthony Barry does for the Chiefs.
Right.
Of course, that's what you expect out of your inside linebacker is to, from tackle to tackle, you've got to man things yourself.
That's right.
Okay, 2-by-2 set. Davis with Barry to his left. And there is the drop. And throws it.
Slings it out. Guess who?
And it is number 1,
Yep.
Dre Reap. And Reap is at the 10, at the 5.
Ooh.
Just inside. Looks like he got it down to the 3-yard line.
And I'll tell you, Dre with some nice moves there.
Yeah.
Ran a long way, left and right, but was able to pick up a nice gain.
Dre with a 20-yard pickup. And
On a 40-yard run, I think. But,
he just kept on running across the
that's
field.
right.
So Dre Reap with 3 catches now for 22 yards. So, the ball's been distributed pretty evenly here. And more so than against Dayton, where we saw, primarily it was Deshaun Edwards was
Right.
the show.
Yeah, the Deshaun Edwards show last week, 2 weeks ago.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Davis in the gun. He tells Reap to move out.
Broncos bringing pressure.
And he throws it to Reap. Oh, and
he didn't get in.
No, he didn't actually. Well, look, it looks like it was a 0-yard gain on that. I thought for a minute he might have been pushed back a yard, but
Yeah, well, I think he caught it for a gain. I think he was pushed back.
yeah, he
The end result was no gain.
he took a step back and lost his momentum and had no chance to get into the end zone. So we're going to have second down from the 3-yard line, and boy, it was a nicely designed play. It just he didn't get far enough into the end zone to prevent that from happening because he got pushed back.
Right.
We've got a 2-by-2 set. Looks like there's a jump ball situation here. Evans wants the ball thrown up the corner, but no, and they give it to. We'll find out.
It's like it's Harris
T.J.
again.
Harris. Harris is back in, but not this time.
We've got a flag on the play. We've got a scuffle inside, Coach. And we've seen a little bit of chippiness so far. The first half ended with a little bit of an issue, and now we've got a little tie up there, a little hog tie at the bottom,
And big number 73 is dragged out by number 71 for the Chiefs, and tempers are flaring, as Chuck said. Number 73 is Dion Brooks, and Kevin Thomas is saying, hey, keep your head. We don't need to blow this. We're on the 1-yard line right here, or 3-yard line, and we want to get the ball in. So
the Chiefs better hope for offsetting penalties there. Or one on the Broncos, but
yeah,
I don't think it's just going to be on the Broncos.
I'm going to bet in those kind of situations when it's in close proximity, you're going to get offsetting penalties on there, and mostly because they're not really sure who it is.
And it looks like they just threw another one, Coach.
Okay.
And AD's trying to get to the bottom of the situation, but
let's see what they.
And we've got an ejection.
Oh.
Don't have the number, but
And I'm gonna bet it might be number 73, but we don't know that. Okay,
so we've got
2 unsportsmanlike.
2 unsportsmanlikes on the Chiefs there,
and 1 ejection.
and an ejection.
And it looks like 71. No, 71's come back. I was going to say, yeah, Dion Brooks has been disqualified. And as I said, Kevin Thomas, who at first looked like he was getting tossed. Yeah. Deion Brooks is out. So now they go from the 3 back to the 33-yard line. So
pretty negative turn of events here for the Chiefs.
yeah, and something that, you got to say that the Broncos should be able to build on this. If they turn this away and turn the Chiefs away and get, through this with no points given up.
Right. Well, and I'll tell you, too, this is another thing that really hurts the Chiefs because of their lack of kicking game.
Yes.
The chance of them converting into any points now are pretty slim.
Okay, so we went back from the 33-yard line. We are back to it appears.
Yeah, they're going to mark it just inside the 50, I think, Coach.
So that must have been 3 penalties, because if it was on the 3-yard line, 30 yards would have put it back at the 33. So
that's 45 yards of penalties.
That's
right there.
3 penalties there. So a 45-yard penalty, which is a combination of 3 personal fouls here and an ejection. And, the other thing we're not factoring in is how is Brooks' backup? I mean, who's the next man up there?
Right.
And, what kind of drop-off are you going to experience there? Yeah, first and, as Wes just said, first and goal from the 48.
You don't see that very often.
No, you don't. So,
in fact, this might be a first for this broadcaster.
I would say it's a first for this broadcaster, too. So
there you go.
And we've seen a lot of firsts this year, Chuck.
Yes, we have. That's for sure.
So, wow. That's all you can say.
So AD now trying to calm his players down. And
he's just saying, hey, keep your head.
Keep your head, exactly.
We're up by 3, and you're acting like we're down by,
30.
Yeah. So, let's see here. We're going to get action going. And, this is the type of stuff, not to get on a soapbox, but this is the type of stuff that they've got to understand. Players in semi-pro leagues have to understand people don't want to come and watch delays for 15 minutes because of this.
Check that, Bill. We've got was there a misallocation of the penalty, or was there a penalty somewhere?
Well, originally there was only 2 personal fouls, so it should be on the 33-yard line, which, we had talked about originally.
Yeah, and I think that's right. But,
so
a total of 30 yards in penalties, not 45. So now first and goal from the 33.
Yes, indeed. So
again, something I've never seen.
It went from 45 to 30. So we've got 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Davis in the shotgun. 3rd down and long, 33 yards. So Davis.
3rd and Oxford.
Yes, and there goes Davis, and he goes.
Oh!
And the intended receiver was Eric Evans, kind of underthrown there by AD.
Yeah, it really was. And Austin Howell, another big play there, knocking that ball down. Now, Austin Howell's played a nice game in the defensive secondary for the Broncos.
And this is a momentum changer here. This is the problem that faces the Chiefs, is that every time something goes wrong now, you can see the Chiefs' energy. I mean, just watch the way the defense is walking around. They're bowed up and they're ready to play now.
Yeah, and I think the opposite is true for the Broncos. They're ready.
Yeah,
I think that's what you meant.
Yes, yeah, I did. And you look at the Chiefs, and they're just kind of walking around now like, hey, what happened?
What happened? Kind of shell-shocked.
Yeah, for sure. So 2-by-2 set. Davis in the shotgun. He takes a low snap, and he goes to the end zone. And there it is, and it's a touchdown.
Touchdown, Dre Reap.
Oh, Dre Reap. And Dre's got to watch it. He could get thrown out for trying to spike the ball on top of the defender.
Wow.
But what did we say all along? In this type of situation, this is where the Chiefs are dangerous. They're never really out of the situation.
That's right. And I'll tell you, A.D. Davis with a great throw there.
Yep. 33-yard touchdown pass.
Big play for the Chiefs.
Yes, indeedy. So, 33 yards.
And again, give A.D. credit there. He just put the ball up and let Dre go up and make a play, and he did.
Yeah.
Very nice job.
Yep. And, I've got to say Anthony Davis has played, other than the one play, has played a pretty good game.
Yeah, that's true. And, and even that was a strip sack.
Yeah.
It wasn't that,
It wasn't necessarily his
right,
his
he was
fault.
trying to make something happen. And,
right.
And the Chiefs are fired up.
So with 10:04 to go, here in the third period. We've got a 26-17 lead for the Cincinnati Chiefs, as we had Dre Reap comes down with a pass from Antonio Davis.
Yeah, nice job by Dre on that jump ball.
Yep. And so extra point coming. And are they going to kick it this time, Chuck?
Well, I'm looking for 7, and I don't see him out there yet.
Okay. So we've got, let's see. And we've got a guest here. We got Walter Seals. Walter, how you doing?
How are you doing today?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is my colleague, Chuck Hale.
How you doing, Chuck?
And now, Walter, you're with the West Virginia Black Knights.
That is correct.
And came up to take in this game tonight and talk to us a little bit about the future of the Black Knights.
Yes.
And what are you guys doing at this point? I know you suspended operations for this season, and are you guys still practicing, or what are you guys doing with that?
Well, we're putting together a new team.
Okay.
We're trying to get more dedicated.
Okay.
Individuals that have the time to play and practice and participate in the organization.
Right.
We're getting new, I guess you can say, recruits
Right.
every day.
Good.
So we're still going to play some, I guess you can say, the word
Some
exhibition games.
Exhibition games.
Yes,
Okay, very
exhibition
good.
games, yes.
And I know we've talked about that a little bit, and some ideas for possibly some conference moves next year with looking at some different possibilities. So,
Walter, what part of the state are you guys located in?
We're in Gully Bridge, West Virginia.
Okay.
That's about 40 minutes outside of Charleston.
Right, home of the New River, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Over
beautiful.
near that way. Yep.
Beautiful part of the state.
so we got another penalty here. And I don't know if they're going to get this extra point off, but Cincinnati does better further away from the end zone.
Oh, they need a little more room.
They need a little bit more room
That's right,
there because when they had third and goal from the 33, we thought, okay, it didn't seem to be too far for them, so
they converted.
They were able to convert. Walter, I know you talked about you're able to secure a new home field.
Right.
And that's got to be a great thing for you guys going forward.
Oh, that's super. We thank the city of Gully Bridge, working with the mayor and the city council, and we now have a field with facilities,
Nice.
The locker room.
Nice. And that's going to be a draw for you, as far as getting players and and having a steady place to play instead of each year looking for a different high school or some place to go and play your games.
Every practice looking for a different place to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Okay, and so the extra point was no good, and Davis's pass went incomplete. So
that's going to make it 26-17. 10:04 left to go in the third quarter here. The Chiefs set to kick off.
And so, Walter, how far a drive was it for you to come up here to the game tonight?
Oh, it was about 3 hours, maybe a little bit over.
3 hours.
Yeah,
okay.
we got stuck in traffic at one point.
Okay. Well, we really appreciate you to come up and take a look at our PFL game of the week here with the Chiefs and the Butler County Broncos, and both teams are undefeated. The Chiefs are 5-0, and the Broncos are 4-0. So
it looks like a good game. I love this facility. It's a very nice.
Yes, it is. Beautiful
very
place.
Nice field. Yes.
Classic facility that's been updated, and again, home to some great players over the years, including obviously the namesake, the great Chris Carter.
Yep.
Middletown High School graduate.
And we were excited. Last 2 weeks ago we did the Chiefs game, and they were playing at Dayton Chaminade Julian Newfield, and what a nice facility that was. So we've been treated to some pretty good football facilities here. Okay, kick goes deep to number. We're going to get his number here in a second.
Yeah, nice return there by the Broncos.
Yeah,
all the way up to the Chiefs' 40-yard line.
Yeah, into the Chiefs' territory. And he was brought down by Eric Evans, the Eric is pretty excited about the tackle there.
Yeah, Eric's had a big game tonight.
Eric has had a good game, mostly at wide receiver, but is able to get a tackle there too.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't get the number on the return. Bill, did you, by any
I
chance?
did not.
Okay,
So that one.
unfortunately, that player will have to remain nameless.
Yeah.
But nice return there by the Broncos. Again, set them up in the Chiefs' side of the football field here to start the third quarter for them.
And we've got Walter Seal from the West Virginia Black Knights here as our guest up in the box. And Walter's taking in this PAFL game of the week after a long drive from West Virginia.
So again, Broncos out on their 2-by-2 set. Back offset to the right.
Oh, big Eddie Davis.
Yeah, a little give up the middle, and you're right, Coach. Eddie Davis ate up both those gaps on that play. Absolutely
the
no
space
room
eater.
at all for Ricky Cardwell.
So Eddie Davis is able to drag him down. And, you know, Eddie's had a couple tackles. The one earlier in the game was a 6-yard loss where he just went right through the center and dropped the running back. And
He's been wreaking havoc up there for sure. So
he sure has.
again, another 2-by-2 look here. Cardwell offset to the left, excuse me.
Press on the corners.
Cunningham surveys.
I believe they're expecting
Cardwell.
a run. But and Cunningham's under pressure.
Yeah.
Chris Davis.
Just couldn't get away, Coach. Just couldn't get away.
The other half of the Davis defensive line is able to drop him for a 4-yard loss. And so Chris Davis picks up a sack.
Yeah. Looks like Cunningham's a little upset there with his receivers not running the route they want. Kind of giving Mario Ramirez the business there.
Well, I think when they saw the press, they were talking about, trying to signal the run of fade, and nobody really picked up on that. And
signal with no receiver. Right?
Yeah, and so when they're running something short and can't get open, that's going to be a lot of problems for Cunningham.
Right, so another 2-by-2 look here on third and about, we'll call it 17.
And you're going to get a press on the corners again.
And we've got another penalty.
And right now, it seems like Cincinnati's picked up a little energy on the defensive line as they're just pinning their ears back and just
They're coming.
They're going to
coming.
They smelled the blood in the water right now, so to speak.
Right.
And they feel that they could break the Butler County back of the offense if they're able to stop them on this drive.
Right, so another penalty on the Broncos is going to make it third, and we'll call it 20 from just their own side of the field, the Broncos' 49-yard line.
8:17 to go in the third quarter. And we'll get back to Walter Seals here in a second as we...
So this time we've got a 3-by-2 look, empty backfield for the Broncos on third and long. Cunningham with the snap.
And he's
pressured. Releases, and it's going to be picked off.
And that is number 20. We're going to get the number in a second here. I think it was number 20. Mario Pleasant with a huge return.
Yeah, 20. Mario Pleasant indeed.
And Mario returned at 35 yards.
So not so pleasant for the Broncos there, Coach.
I see what you did there, Chuck. So, Walter, looking at your roster and that is, what's the age of the guys that you're getting right now? Are they fall into college-age kids, or is it just a wide variety?
Our largest, I guess you can say, group of kids, basically 19 to 21.
Oh, good.
Great.
Yeah, we do have a few. We have one that's 41.
A few veterans, right?
Few veterans.
Some dreamers out there.
Yeah. 2-by-2 set for the Chiefs, and they give the ball off
Guess who?
to Maurice
Lovett?
Lovett.
Yep.
And Lovett is able to pick up 9 yards on the carry.
Yeah, nice run by Maurice. Nice cut there over the right edge.
Yep. And so, Walter, how are you going about stocking the team? Is it by word of mouth? Is it through the newspapers? What's your way of advertising that the Black Knights are going to be back bigger and better than ever next year?
Right now, it's social media.
Social media. Okay.
And word of mouth. They see us at the field working, getting the field prepared.
So you guys have a presence on Facebook?
Yes.
Anything else? Twitter? Anything you like us to?
I'm old school. I have to learn Twitter.
That's all right. We don't have a Twitter either. So
I'm trying to decide whether you're Twitty or Twitterer.
Gotcha.
So,
So Facebook is probably one of the best ways if someone
Facebook
wants to get
is.
in touch with you.
Right.
Okay.
so Maurice Lovett is stopped for no gain there, so it's going to be 3rd and short. Got popped pretty good there, Chuck, as he ran into the middle of the line, and some helmets came flying off. And tempers are still flaring a little bit.
And like we said, it's been a little chippy at times today.
Yep.
So again, 26-17 your score here. 6:38 to go in the third quarter.
I guess they're going to measure this. They've decided that Maurice Lovett may have picked up a little bit more than they had originally given credit for. This is about as close as so he did get the first down.
Didn't even need the index card there.
No, he didn't. Didn't need the micrometer to see how close it was.
So first down, Chiefs here.
Okay. We've got a 2-by-2 set. Davis in the shotgun.
And Butler starting to walk up, show a little pressure off the edge. Now they back out. Now maybe up the middle.
And Cincinnati's taking their time. A little play action.
Oh!
And Dre Reap got a hand on it.
Yeah, and
But now,
unfortunately, Dre tipped it right to number 5.
and that was a 40-yard return.
Yeah, that's Norm Young on the pick there and the nice return. So the Broncos with a little role reversal here, getting a turnover of their own. And that puts them in good position, Bill, coming up here.
Sure did.
With just inside or just outside 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Davis got the ball a little bit too high on that when he threw it. Dre was there. It wasn't that far away.
No, you're right. I think, if you look, he had to back up there while he was making the throw, and he just never got his feet set. And that allowed Dre to at least get a hand on it. But again, I guess in that instance should have knocked it down.
Yeah. So,
All right, so the Broncos come out here, and it looks like we've got a 3-by-1 look here. And now we're going to motion, and we're going to go back into the familiar 2-by-2 look.
So Butler County to give it off. A nice little piece of running there. 5-yard
nice run
pickup.
over the edge again by Cardwell.
Cardwell picks up a nifty 5 yards there.
Yeah, and again, Cardwell kind of getting things going here in the second half. First half, he had a lot of carries, but very few yards. But this time he's starting to get some space out there. So that's going to make it 2nd and 5 here for the Broncos.
Yeah, he was able to dip in and dip out, and this is, Cincinnati, as we talked about, it looked like they were starting to pull away with 5:36 to go in the third period. But
Bill, we may want to look at fatigue starting to become a factor because the Cincinnati defense, after that turnover, has been on the field for quite a few plays now.
They have.
And it's not exactly a cool night out there.
No, not at all.
So, again, 2-by-2 look here for the Broncos. Cardwell shifts over to the left side. Cunningham surveys the defense, calls the snap. With Cardwell again, this time up the middle.
About
it looks
an
like
8-yard gain.
Yeah, he's going to have a first down there. So 2 straight plays, Ricky Cardwell leads them to a Broncos first down.
Yeah, he did the Zeke Elliott feed me.
That's right.
And I guess he's going to get a break instead of getting.
Maybe that was water.
Maybe he didn't need water.
Cardwell just come to the sideline, so
yeah,
won't be fed on this one.
No.
So he's replaced by number 1, Thad Helbert. And again, Helbert had a nice first half. So 2-by-2 again here. Helbert offset to the left. And they do give to Helbert right at the middle. Helbert cuts it to the left. And Helbert with a nice run. He's going to pick up about 10 there.
And Chuck, I think you might be right about the fatigue factor because the Chiefs definitely seem just a little flat-footed right now. And, this heat, we're getting into the real hot part of the summer, and this is where teams are going to get worn down a little bit.
That's for sure. A lot of emotion tonight, a lot of momentum shifts, and that takes a toll on you. So I guess Helbert with about 7 there, a little ambitious on our spot, but going to bring up 2nd and about 3. 2-by-2 look here. Helbert to the right.
And Chiefs
Cunningham.
widen out their defensive ends and a little zone drop there.
Oh, what a nice jump cut by Helbert up the middle. And he gets tripped up just short of the goal line. It's going to be 1st and goal from about the 2.5-yard line.
And Cincinnati's been taking these zone drops, and sometimes they're getting caught in that, Chuck, as their defensive lineman is dropping out of position and just creating a hole for the backs.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got Helbert up to about 50 yards here now for the game.
And this has just been a long, grueling drive as they've worn the Chiefs down a little bit here with 3:26 to go in the third quarter.
So now we've got a tight end to the right and give up the middle. Helbert back to the line, and that's going to be about it. So it's going to be 2nd and goal now from about the 3-yard line.
And that was number 9, Ricky Saunders. And Ricky's had a game tonight. We didn't see him as much of a factor against the Hornets last week or 2 weeks ago, but tonight he's been in quite a few plays.
Yeah, like we talked about, we've seen a lot of different faces step up for the Chiefs the past 2 weeks, and it's been exciting to see.
Yep.
So same formation here, 2 receivers to the right, tight end to the right, lone receiver to the left side.
And a
Quick slant.
Yes.
And yes, he did. Touchdown, Broncos. So that's going to push it now to 26-23. 2:35 to go here in the third quarter. So,
and that was caught by is it 15?
I was going to say 14, but 14's on defense. So, yeah, I think that is 15. That is George Miller, the wide receiver there. And I believe that's Miller's first catch of the game.
So, Miller with a 6-yard catch from Cunningham.
And so that's Cunningham's second touchdown pass of the game.
2:35. And
so Costas now into attempt to PAT.
So Cincinnati, let's see if they put any type of pressure on here. And not in the middle, but and that's kind of what we saw last week.
That's right, coming off the edge, but not the middle. So Kostov drills at home, but we do have a flag on the play. We'll see what that is.
26-23.
And it looks like whatever it is will be declined, so it must be on the Chiefs, and it is. So again, that will make it 26-23 with 2:35 to go here in the third quarter.
And let's get back to Walter Seals here, the owner of the West Virginia Black Knights. Walter, so how long have the Black Knights been in existence?
This is going on our third year.
Third year?
Yeah.
Now, Walter, are you just the owner, or do you have a coach? I mean, how do you handle that? Are you the coach and the owner?
No, I'm the owner.
Okay.
We do have our coaches, our head coach, and a few other assistant coaches to help him out.
Okay.
But my primary job is to promote, recruit,
right, and
build
be the businessman.
Right.
Yeah. And we've talked a little bit about that. I know you and I have had conversations. That's one of the things in semi-pro minor league football that becomes a conflict of interest when your owner is a player and they're more interested in the playing than they are in the actual operation of the business part of it. And we've been had opportunity to talk to Cincinnati's management, and I think they understand that pretty well, and they understand the direction that minor league football has to go if it's going to be successful.
Right.
Okay, so we get ready for the kickoff here. We'll see how Cincinnati responds as a nice drive by the Broncos.
Dre Reap for the return here.
Dre at the 10. He's up to the 20. Breaks it. Oh, he's over to 20. 40. He's to the 45, 50, 40, 35, 20, 15, and dragged out at about the 4-yard line. Wow.
What a return by Dre Reap.
An 86-yard return by Dre Reap.
And we do have a flag on the play, though, Coach.
So we'll have to see if this is going to stand. But, Chuck, when you have a kid with the speed that Dre's got, you always tell those guys, if you see him in front of you, let him go. Don't touch anybody. He can do this on his own.
And it is going to be against the Broncos. And it looks like it's going to be for a personal foul of some sort. I didn't get the indication, but
let's see what happens here. Well, and if nothing else, I mean, Cincinnati's going to get good field position. And, they always, as we've talked about for 2 weeks now, they have that explosiveness that at any point of the field.
Oh, that's right. You're exactly right. They can break away at any point, and
right.
They've shown that they've got the weapons to do that. But again, we talked about too that the momentum has been big tonight, and that is a momentum killer, no doubt.
Yeah, it changes it from an 84-yard return to a 35-yard return. So, just a very unfortunate situation for Dre Reap because that was just individual effort, Chuck. Once he got to about the 35-yard line there and split them,
no doubt.
I mean, Dre just outran everybody at that point.
All right, so that's going to bring up 1st and 10 from their own 35 here for the Chiefs.
Yep. And we will. And it's like Cincinnati was at one point starting to slow things down on taking the snaps, like they were trying to, milk the clock a little bit. But they're not in that situation now because they're just going to have to put some more points up there.
Yeah,
2-by-2 set from the 45-yard line. Davis in the shotgun. And Harris gets the ball, and Harris rips through the line up to the 50-yard line for a 5-yard gain.
Now, Harris with a nice gain there over the right tackle. And again, like we talked about, Harris showed us 2 weeks ago that he can be a closer for this team.
Yeah.
He's trying to take that role on right now, putting this Chiefs team on his back.
Yeah, TJ seems to be, he's one of those slashing kind of runners. And he runs very well from left to right and just gets up into the hole very quickly.
But gaining yards as he does it.
Yes,
and
exactly.
That's the key.
Yes.
That's the key. So, another 2-by-2 look here for the Chiefs, 2nd and 5.
Harris to the left of Davis.
Broncos showing blitz.
And there's Harris again. He's up to the 35. Or I'm sorry, 45, over to 40, down to the 38-yard line.
And I'll tell you, the Broncos trying to get pressure there, but it looks like they actually over-blitz right there, blitz right past the run.
And that's a 12-yard pickup for TJ Harris. And you don't want TJ to get rolling because if TJ gets hot, he's hard to stop.
Yeah, that's right. And like we talked about, he was a closer last week. He can end up closing this thing out.
Yeah.
Even though, we're just still inside the very end of the third quarter to go here.
Well, if you get the hot hand, and, this is the thing. This is the danger of rotating back so much as you lose that momentum sometimes. 2-by-2 set, Davis in the shotgun with Harris off to his left. He's slowing it down a little bit. He awaits the snap and gives it to who else but Harris. But this time,
penetration right there by the Broncos, though. And I'll tell you, boy, big number 59, the defensive tackle Jonathan Clark there, just bull rushed right through and just blew it up.
So that 3-yard loss after 5-yard and 12-yard gains for TJ Harris, and so kind of slowed down the Cincinnati momentum. Walter, do you return any the group that you have return any players from the previous team, or is this all a new group that you've got?
The previous team, we have about 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
About
okay.
4 or 5 come back.
And so it's just really basically remolding the attitude and getting, like you talked about, getting people that want to play football to get to practice, and that's going to make things better for everybody that's there.
Right. We try to explain our concept, who we are, what we do, where we're trying to go with this. Find people that try to that fit our building blocks, what we're trying to do for the future.
Right. Very good. And as Chuck said, we're at the end of the period here. 26-24 in favor of the Cincinnati Chiefs. And we are at, let's see. Yes. Okay.
All right, so again, time for another legal break here.
This is WZAA FM LP 106.9 in Jeffersonville, Ohio, and campusnation.com, and our internet associate. And so were we legal on that, Rick?
All right, the ZA is legal. We love it.
The ZA has made it again. You never know. Is it? Do you feel any pressure? When that comes up, this is your legal break that you've got to go in there and.
Well, you know I do, Bill. You know that I do.
Chuck takes it. Chuck takes it to the nth degree as far as being serious about that. But.
All right, so we're going to have second and 13 here for the Chiefs.
Yeah, after the 3-yard loss. So, Cincinnati, it looks like Tyrone Berry's back in the other hot hand for the Chiefs. 2-by-2 set. Davis with Berry set off to his left. Gets ready to call for the ball, and I would suspect we'd probably see a pass on this one with the 2nd and 13. And it's number 5, and number 5 squirts forward, and I think that would be Eric Evans.
That is Eric Evans, yep.
And I wonder if Eric and no, they couldn't be. I think they have the same name, although you never know.
Yeah, I believe there are 2 Eric Evans. If I'm
Okay.
not mistaken. There are. Although it is spelled differently.
Yes. So Eric picks up about, it looks like better part up maybe 9 yards there.
Which Eric? Evans or Evans?
The Eric with the A.
I got you.
That starts his name. A-R-I-C. That Eric Evans. Okay, we got a 3-by-2 set here. Now we don't have 3. We have 2-by-2 set.
2-by-2,
Davis drops. He looks. Gets the ball out.
Guess who?
And that is Eric Evans. The aforementioned Eric Evans, who we just talked about.
The other Eric Evans.
The other Eric Evans. And
So that's going to be a first down for the Chiefs.
That appears to be an 8-yard gain there.
Okay, so again, just inside the 14:46 here in the fourth quarter.
Yes,
Chiefs starting to drive here. We're just outside the Broncos red zone.
And 2-by-2 set. And Davis gets set as he looks it over. And Berry in the backfield gives the ball to Berry, and Berry bounces it back, but meets a wall of blue there at about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he really did, Coach. He put his head down and tried to barrel over, and
about
momentum just stopped.
Yeah. It's about a 3-yard gain for Tyrone Berry. That's Tyrone's 8th carry, which, by last week's standards, we didn't have many backs that got over 4 or 5 carries,
right.
But Tyrone's 8 carries and TJ's 6 seems to be the balance of the ball carrying. And we've got TJ back in the game. 2-by-2 set. Harris set off to the left of Davis. Davis gets ready for the snap. Oh, and he had a
blown coverage right
wide
there.
open.
Blown coverage.
And I think that might be Eric Davis. No, that is our Deshaun Evans.
It sure is.
And Deshaun Evans with a 23-yard touchdown catch. And, Deshaun has not been as relevant tonight, but yet he gets back on the board with a touchdown pass there.
Yeah, that's right. Again, we talked about him at the beginning of the show. He had a huge game 2 weeks ago against Dayton, over 200 yards receiving.
Right.
Averaging over 30 a catch. And how many touchdowns last game?
Was 3 touchdowns?
I believe at least 3.
No, 2 touchdowns last week. Yep. A 91-yarder, though, was one of those.
I stand corrected. So we're going to have another penalty here, though, it looks like. Maybe. A lot of discussion here.
And I would assume Cincinnati has just resigned itself to going for 2-point conversions now.
Yeah, I don't believe we've seen them attempt a kick today, have we?
I don't know. Let me see. We got the scoring right here. The first touchdown they attempted to kick, and it was no good. and that kind of set the tempo from that standpoint. And
Right, so, yeah, we do have a penalty against the Broncos. It's going to be a dead ball and sportsmanlike, going to be assessed probably on the kickoff. So now the Chiefs looking to pick up another 2-point conversion here.
okay.
And you got 3-by-1, Harris the back. Oh! What a great catch. One-handed grab there.
Oh,
Again, who was
Eric
that number?
Evans.
Is that Eric Evans? Nope, it's not. It's number 5, not 85.
I believe that's Eric Evans. That's the ARIC.
Ah, that is Eric Evans. So great grab there. Just snatched it out of the air. Wow.
And a nice,
Odell Beckham-like kind of.
yes,
catch.
it was. And Eric Evans helps extend that lead for Cincinnati out to 34-24 with 13:52 to go. Eric Evans is enjoying a little celebration here. Now, if I were Eric, I'd be a little careful right here. We have had a little chippiness going on, and the official kind of made his way down the sideline.
And I think he just called a penalty on him too.
Just to make sure that.
I don't think that was. Yeah, that wasn't Eric Evans though. That was. Was that Eric Evans?
Yeah, that's the other Eric Evans. That's the ERIC. And I believe that.
Yep,
So.
I'm falling asleep on my Eric Evans over here. So you're right.
You need a scorecard for that. So Walter.
And no, I take that back, Coach. Sorry to interrupt, but no penalty on Eric Evans. Though.
How many West Virginia franchises are there that you're aware of?
At this time, there's about six to eight.
6 to 8. Okay.
6 to 8.
And I know we talked before. Is that pretty much spread out, or I think you said they're more towards the Morgantown area?
More north. Most of them are
Northeast and that. Okay.
Yes. But they are spread out, though.
Now, were most of these teams in the same league with you, or they were spread out in different leagues?
Spread out in different leagues.
Okay. And that's what Rick and I found out here on doing our research on the minor league football. Is it seems like there's more leagues every time we turn around popping up, and finding out a little bit about each of them. So now you guys were in the PAFL, or no, you were in the Gridiron Developmental League. Okay.
Gridiron.
Okay. A couple weeks from now, one of the teams in this league will play the Portsmouth Stealth, who are in the developmental league in that, and we may be going out to take a look at that game. Okay,
So first and 10 from the 10 here.
a little press coverage all the way across the front, and Barry. Oh,
Yeah, give there to Cardwell again,
and Mario Pleasant, and who else but
and we've got another flag, Coach.
Anthony Barry. Okay, so I believe that's Mario Pleasant. Yes, it is Mario Pleasant.
So that's Cardwell's 10th carry of the game.
Yeah, and the one thing we've noticed with Butler County is they do not substitute quite as liberally as Cincinnati does. With maybe not quite the same depth that Cincinnati has, but I know that Coach Poole told us that. I asked him how many receivers you have on the team. He goes, well, basically everybody could be a receiver if we needed them. So, I mean, they're a pretty talented group there.
Right. So we've got another flag after the previous flag there. There's 2 flags out, 3 right now on the field. So we'll have to sort this out here. But I think they may all be on the Chiefs.
We might see one to 30-yard
Another
penalties
45-yard
again,
penalty
or
again,
45-yard penalty. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. So he's walking. Oh, wow. They're sorting it out here. We'll get.
And after all that, we're going to have offsetting penalties.
Question: is there any ejections?
And then one more on the Chiefs. And number 11 was just ejected for the Chiefs.
So Anthony Berry.
There you go. So that's a big loss for the Chiefs.
Yeah, because Anthony Berry is the man in the middle for the Chiefs.
He owns the middle. That's right.
So now number 21, Aaron Moore is going to be coming in for Anthony, and I'm kind of surprised there because Anthony's seemed to be the glue out there for the defense, and for him to lose his composure like that just seemed very uncharacteristic.
Well, and you're right. That could forebode some dangerous times for the Chiefs here.
The rushing attack might pick up a little bit for Butler County.
So just over 13 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. It's going to be 1st and 10 now from about the 29-yard line. And we've got a 2-by-1 look here. Now we're going to have a shift here. Going to have a 3-by-1 look now. 3 receivers to the bottom. And they're going to run to the top of the field.
Wow. And just as we
guess
talked.
who? Cardwell again with probably his biggest gain of the game right there.
Well, and you noticed what you had happening with Butler County was they overloaded the formation to the left.
And then ran back to the right.
And they were taking advantage of the fact that they don't have to account for Anthony Berry in the middle now.
Right.
And just like that, they took advantage of the loss of the players. So
there's a Chief down in the field right now. Looks like it's number 23.
And that's Brandon Wooten, the other middle linebacker.
So that could be a big blow again for the Chiefs.
Yeah, Wooten and Berry were the starting middle linebackers. So if those are both down, this could get real interesting real quick here. Walter, how's with your team? What kind of things are you doing right now as far as your practices? Are you doing any hitting, or is it more repetition type of stuff?
It's more repetition, conditioning,
right?
Skills. We have a lot of young players. We have to teach them. The last time they played football was high school.
Right.
So we have to say, hey, this is a much different football
yeah.
now.
Yeah,
so we have to get them ready for that.
Right.
But mostly conditioning so that they can go a hard 4 quarters.
Right. Right.
You know, we know it's not going to be easy for us, so we have to push them.
Yeah.
As far as we can.
Yeah, and we've seen that. This is only being the second game that we've broadcast, but it seems like in the fourth quarter you see a little bit of lag in the players and that extra time that they may not be used to from coming from high school to this league. Okay, so we're back to action here.
Little play action and post intended for number 15.
Broken up.
Miller is incomplete.
Broken up by number 9, Ricky Saunders. And Ricky's been pretty present today. After, like we said, we didn't call his name very much against Dayton, but he's been a presence today.
That's for sure. He's been active back there in the secondary.
And as we move through the fourth quarter here, we'll see. There's Pierre Savage Hunter. He's going to get himself in a little press. He backs off a little bit now.
So now a 3-by-1 look here for the Broncos.
And I would be interested to see if they're going to come back to the right side there, Chuck, like we saw before.
Right. And it looks like that's what they had on, but
yeah.
Or at least a play action off of that.
But it looks like a
false start against the Broncos, so that's going to back them up even more. It's going to make it 3rd and about 7. I'm sorry, 2nd and 15.
Yeah, so they're not going in the right direction to take advantage of the momentum that they were seizing from the ejection of Anthony Berry. And, the longer this takes, you start to lose that momentum. And that's the thing where these penalties are slowing down any kind of
Well, that's right. I think, we
energy.
talked about it, too. The heat of today.
Yep.
probably been the hottest day we've had in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, these guys, both sides are getting tired and fatigued as the game goes on. So,
Right.
3-by-1 look here.
Oh,
Cunningham fires to the one receiver side.
Oh!
Jump ball situation.
And Chaz Morton is going to get called for pass interference. And Chaz had his back to the quarterback. And as you know, Chuck, if you have your hands up in the air and you have your back to the quarterback, nothing good's going to happen for you.
Chances are that's right. You're going to get that call. But, again, and Cunningham, to his credit, just put him in a jump ball situation. And,
Yep.
That's what he ended up with.
And this will be a spot foul, I would assume.
Yeah, so that's going to make it 1st and 10 from about the
43.
Chiefs' 41 or 42-yard line.
Yeah. So they're going to get this straightened out here. But, Cunningham did a smart thing there. Now, I've noticed a couple times Cunningham's looked out to the receivers and made hand signals. So you've got to assume that he's adjusting their routes depending on the coverage.
Right. And we talked about, too, we've seen a lot more press here in the second half
Yes.
out of the Chiefs. So,
Yeah.
they probably are mixing things up a little bit. So, offensive pass interference, the call, Coach.
Ooh. Okay. I didn't see that, but that's all right.
Rarely called foul right there.
Yeah,
but,
it is. Yeah, the defenders are always, always picked on that particular penalty, but in this case, it was not to be. So, Butler County has now put themselves in a pretty deep hole here.
Yeah, 3rd and Trenton, it looks like. I think Trenton is that direction.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's either that or Franklin, depending on which direction.
Maybe Oxford.
Yeah, right.
So, appears to be 2nd and 25. So, it is a huge amount of yardage. But, as we've seen, that has not meant anything tonight. As we had a 3rd and 33 that ended up being a touchdown. So.
That's right. 3rd and goal from the 33.
A 3rd goal from 33. Okay.
So just inside 12 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. And again, the Chiefs hanging on to a 10-point lead, but Butler County threatening to get a drive together here before they've kind of stalled themselves out with an offensive pass interference penalty.
Yep.
See if they can't convert this.
And I just don't know what's taking so long here, unless it's just the officials are trying to calm everything down. But if they're getting paid by the hour, they're making some money tonight,
That's
Chuck.
right.
So, Walter, as the owner, what kind of responsibilities do you have as far as the game organization? Are you responsible for setting up the officials? How's that work on the owner aspect of things, owning one of the franchises?
Right now, as the owner, it is, like I said, promotions, recruiting, setting up game day, getting the officials, making sure that insurance, the fields are ready, checking back, because right now we don't have a general manager.
Okay. Okay. Somebody dropped something there.
Drop my phone.
And here we go.
So 2-by-2 look here. Familiar formation for the Broncos. Back offset to Cunningham's left.
Press coverage still. And Cunningham, little reverse pivot.
Little pressure. Now starts to roll out. Running, scrambling.
Wow.
Yeah, and we're going to have a late hit there.
Oh.
Cunningham was out of bounds. And,
yeah. And that might get them out of jail there, Chuck.
Yeah, I think it might. And unfortunately, that happened right on the Butler sideline. And
yeah,
we've got another little.
And they just need to get them away from each other.
Extracurricular. Yeah, they really do.
I tell you, Cunningham has deceivingly good running abilities, and I'm kind of surprised they don't use him more as a runner. He'd give you a lot of balance as far as your running game would be concerned.
Yeah, I think you're right, Bill, that, they could find ways to utilize that a little bit. But, I think, too, he's shown that he's got good pocket awareness and knows where he needs to be when he needs to be there.
Yeah. And he has a good arm. And, he's a pretty complete kid. But, you get that rare dual athlete kind of guy that you've got those abilities. You can do a couple extra things with them. And then there goes Vito DeSoto, or Vito Sosa's out.
So, again, like we talked about, that is going to bail the Broncos out.
Yeah.
Automatic first down. Now they're up to the Chiefs' 44-yard line.
Yes, indeed.
So their familiar 2x2 set here. This time we're in a pistol. And Chiefs showing blitz here. Got a lot of guys walked up to the line.
Yep. Press coverage on the corners.
And we've got a little lead play over the right side. Good
Picks
for, we'll call it 2 yards.
2-yard pickup there.
Looks like that was number 2, Robert Givens. I believe that may have been his first carry of the game.
Now, Walter, have you had a chance to play either of these teams in the last few years?
No,
No.
we have not had a chance to play any of
Okay.
these.
All right, so
And this
2nd
is,
and 8 here from the 43.
Butler County's first year in this league is they came from the Blue Collar Football League.
BCFL.
Yes. Where they were the champion. I believe they were champions last year.
Yeah, yep. So again, 2x2 here for the Broncos. Back to the left. Cunningham gets the snap. Quick throw out to the left
little
side.
rocket screen to number 20. And he's able to get it up
That's
over
Dominic Williams, and Williams picks up,
Gets it
we'll
down
call
to-
it 5 yards.
Yeah.
So that's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
gets it down to the 39-yard line. And that was nice. That was well developed because when he got the ball, there was nobody around him and gave him some running room, which anymore with that kind of play, Chuck, it's been used so much in the last 5 to 10 years that people just know how to sit on that play.
Right.
We've seen that with Ohio State, where they used to throw a steady diet of that. They've kind of got away from it because of the fact that people are sitting on it now.
All right, so again, 2x2 look here for the Broncos. Little give to the left side.
Ooh, nice shift.
And again, that's number 2. That's Robert Givens, and Givens with a nice pickup. He's going to have a first down.
Givens with a little shake and bake there and was able to scoot down to about the 22-yard line, Chuck, and nice little run. And the Chiefs' defense is looking a little bit long in the tooth here as
Yes, they are.
they're
Yeah.
just walking around, and you made an excellent observation that maybe the heat has just kind of worn them down now.
So first down and 10 here. You've got a 3-by-1 look now. 3 receivers to the top, pistol in the backfield.
Cincinnati in their 4-3.
Cunningham,
Oh,
play action.
and a little naked
little
boot.
bootleg.
And Cunningham takes it out at about the 15-yard line.
Coach, I think the Butler County coaching staff heard you talking about using Cunningham as a runner because that's exactly what they did right there.
They did.
A nice little 9-yard pickup there. Going to bring up 2nd and 1 here.
And this is, that down where you can waste it down and take a shot at the end zone or do something exotic as long as you're not going to lose 10 yards on it. So.
Right.
Okay.
All right, so again, back to the familiar 2-by-2 look. And now we're going to get a shift. We're going to go 3-by-1.
8:59
Pistol
to
look
go.
in the backfield. There's the snap. Little give off the left side, trying to get the edge. Nice job by Cincinnati stringing that out.
A little loss there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Givens just was never able to find the edge there. He's going to end up losing about 2 yards there.
And that was Vito Sosa who just kept himself right in front of the running back and forced him to go out of bounds.
Right.
I think that chain is wrong because it should be about a 3-yard loss on that. Now they got the box right now.
Yeah, so it's going to bring up 3rd and about 4 to go here.
Yeah.
And again, the Broncos need a first down here. They do not want to kick a field goal here.
No.
Well, they do need 10 points, but
I just don't know if they would. I think this might be 4-down territory, Chuck, because you don't know how many chances you're going
Right.
to get down here. Oh, nice bounce.
That was
Oh, fumble!
recovered by the Chiefs.
It was.
So again, Cardwell comes back in the game, has a nice little run, and gets the ball knocked out of his hands.
And I can't see the number 16.
I'll tell you, Cardwell might
Or
have.
no, that's number 15. That's Chaz Morton who
Yeah,
recovered that.
Cardwell might have had the first down there. But,
Yeah.
all for naught.
Oh, I think he did have the first down. He just forgot to take the football with him.
So again, just inside 9 minutes to go here, the Chiefs take over up by 10
Wow. And
from about their own 20, just inside their own 20.
the Chiefs really dodged the bullet on that one because Butler County had the momentum.
They sure did. So let's see if the Chiefs can't put together a nice long drive here and put this one to bed.
Yeah. And similar to when they played Dayton, they had the same kind of feel because as you recall, Dayton got down there late in the third quarter,
Right.
where they could have cut that to a one touchdown game, and they didn't capitalize on that situation. Okay, so 2-by-2 set, and the ball is given to and
Fumble.
Cincinnati drops it.
I don't know. We'll see who's got it. Both teams signaling they have it.
Oh, Cincinnati.
And the Chiefs do recover. So
And I'm not sure if that was Davis or the running back on that one. But that's the kind of miscues that we saw against Dayton
exactly.
that led to 4 fumbles in that game.
And like we talked about, Dayton wasn't able to capitalize, but Butler County has shown that they're a different kind of ball club.
Yes,
So.
yes, indeed. 2nd and 11 for the Chiefs. And I can't tell if that is Barry or Harris, but we'll let you know.
AD's covering him up, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But we'll find out here in a second,
That's
I have a
right.
feeling. And Davis drops, and he gets the ball out to Eric Evans.
And Evans touchdown there.
And Eric picks up, looks like a 7-yard gain for Eric.
Yep, going to bring up 3rd, about 3 to go for the Chiefs.
So Eric Evans, we had to make a special area for him because we ran out of room for receivers. But that's his 3rd catch for 17 yards on the night. So, definitely they go from a bad situation as far as down and distance to a very makeable situation now.
Right.
I don't know if you noticed on that last pass they threw to Evans is that the slot was wide open in the middle of the field and there was a blown coverage.
No, I didn't see that. Harris in the backfield.
2-by-2. Harris has got it. He's up over to 30, 35, 40, almost
Wow.
up to the 45. What an explosive play.
And a vicious stiff arm there to boot.
Yeah. 19-yard gain for T.J. Harris.
And again, like we mentioned, Harris shows he has the ability to take a ball game over at the end. So we're already down inside 7 minutes now. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs continue a barrage of Harris and some of the other running backs in their stable.
Harris is up to 44 yards on 7 carries. And, he seems to get stronger as the game goes on.
Yes, he does.
So we'll see what happens here.
I'll tell you, I would not want to try to tackle that guy. So
Out
here's
to Dre
Sweeney here.
Reap, up to the 45, to the 50, and brought down about the 49-yard line.
Yeah, I'll tell you, nice play by Dre Reap and a nice form tackle there by 24 Donnie Taylor. Classic tackle right there.
Yes, indeed. And Chuck, I was going to throw this out here, but Antonio Davis, that's his 1, 2, 3. That's his 6th straight completion, and he's, it's not all been airing it out, but he's been able to go underneath and pick out the open receivers, and it's keeping it alive for the Chiefs.
Yeah, AD's played a nice ball game today, no doubt.
Okay. 2-by-2 set. Davis with Harris in the backfield.
Butler County walking up, showing pressure. And this time they're able to stop the run after a minimal pickup, maybe even a loss of one.
Yeah, I don't think doesn't look like he got to the line of scrimmage.
And we've got a player down.
And that appears to be the running back, I think. Whoever that was. If
it's either 12 or 32. It's 32.
Now that was Tyrone Berry.
It is Berry, yep.
Berry with a 1 yard loss. And Berry and Harris have been switching in and out here recently. So.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, you hate to see anybody go down, but for the Chiefs right now, that could be a big loss if they're trying to just run this clock out here.
Well, and that means TJ Harris might just have to carry that load.
That's right.
Walter, looking at the Lightning's coaching staff, where's your head coach come from?
Our head coach,
yeah.
He was Ed Gross. He was the first head coach for the West Virginia Storm.
Okay.
When they established their organization up there at Mount Hope several years ago.
So you've got an experienced coach that's dealt with semi-pro football who understands the ropes of it.
Yep.
What about his assistant coaches?
I guess you can say they're in learning.
They're in learning. Okay.
They're in
well,
learning.
hey, and sometimes that's the best ones to have.
They're in learning.
Very good. Okay, so Cincinnati with 5 minutes and 24 seconds to go in this ball game has let's see.
The Chiefs holding on to a 10-point lead here, trying to basically just run the clock out.
3rd and about 5.
Well, I say that, then they come out in a 5 wide receiver look.
So. They come out 3 by 2, and they motion
little jet give
Riley from right to left, and Riley is just, I don't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage or not.
And we're going to have another personal foul, Coach. I think they liked how Riley got taken down there at the end, and some pushing and shoving, and another flag.
Well, I think they just tossed one of the Butler County players because he just pointed to the sideline, number 34, I believe.
Yeah, maybe they just told him, have this guy chill out.
At the minimum, there's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
Yep. So, again, a lot of emotion tonight. These two teams, very competitive. Nobody wanted to give an inch.
And these two teams
we've seen it.
Chuck, these two teams will hook up again on Saturday, June 30th.
Well, I can't wait for that. It'll be a great ball game.
And so the Broncos will travel to Cincinnati to play the Chiefs. And that little card that the officials have to fill out with all the penalties? They're probably working on the second one at this point.
I'd say it'd be both sides tonight.
You got both sides, yeah. Their grease pencil's kind of running out now.
That's right. So, again, just inside 5 minutes, 4:58 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Chiefs holding on to a 10-point lead, 34-24. Chiefs with the football and just the recipients of a 15-yard personal foul gift from the Broncos. It's going to march it all the way down to about the Bronco 36-yard line. So,
and I don't mean to be the doomsayer here, but that might be the nail in the coffin because if Cincinnati is able to score here, there's just not quite enough time, I don't believe, for them to get back into it.
Just about be out of reach. You're right, Coach. So we'll see what happens here. Again, 4:58 to go.
2 by 2. Looks like,
Yep.
Reap moves in to the slot. Davis looks it over.
Butler showing blitz. Linebackers walked up in both A-gaps.
See who the running back is on this. This is 30. I think this is Blake Moore, number 30, that just carried the ball. And Moore was able to pick up about 3 yards.
Are you sure that's not? I think that's 32 back in the. No, it is 30. You're right.
And Blake Moore has been kind of a forgotten man here since the first quarter, but gets another opportunity and picks up about 3 yards.
And so again, tick, tick, tick. Clock keeps running here.
Yeah. That'd be the wise thing to do now is just to feed the ball to the back. And get out of here with the W.
So second, and we'll call it a long 8 here. Or a long 7, I should say.
Now, the one thing the Chiefs have been able to do is they've put 34 on the Broncos, who've only given up 12 points all year. So
that's right. We talked about that at halftime. The Broncos have given up 12 points in 4 games, and they give up 20 in the first half. So, again, the Chiefs have shown their offensive prowess today for sure.
So 2-by-2 set. Antonio Davis just taking his time.
Yep, no hurry now for the Chiefs.
No. And they're just hoping to get out of here without any more penalties. And Blake Moore hits the hole really, really quick, but it looks like about a minimal gain.
Yeah, he does. Maybe almost even hitting it before his lineman can get engaged.
I believe that was
any movement.
That was Tyrone Armstrong that time.
So the Broncos take a timeout here. See if they can't preserve a little bit of this clock.
See where Tyrone is.
Already inside 4 minutes, 3:50 to go now in the game. And again, the Broncos use their first timeout. They've got 2 left here. 2nd and 7.
And
Chuck
resumes. I stand corrected. That is Tyrone Armstrong is number 30.
Well, don't apologize to me. Apologize to Tyrone.
Tyrone, I'm sorry. I've been calling you Blake Moore. And
what about Blake Moore?
Well,
got to show him some love too, Coach.
Blake, I'm sorry. But I did give you a few more carries than you
there you go.
had. So I guess you can look at that as a positive.
So, again, we'll call it 2nd and 7 here coming up. Again, Butler County with 2 timeouts left.
Cincinnati's just milking the clock here. Can't milk it if it's not running.
It's got to run, that's right. Got to run first.
So 2-by-2 set for Davis. He looks it over. Gets ready for the snap. There's the snap. Play action.
Oh, nice.
Throw to the middle. Nice play action pass.
Play action backside dump.
And they're going to call him down there.
Yep. And the ball did come out, but Ali was already down, ruled by the officials.
Khalid Ali with a nifty little 20-yard pickup.
That's going to be another first down, for the Chiefs. So
actually, it's about an 18-yard pickup on that. And
about 10 more than they needed.
And Khalid Ali, that's his 4th catch, and he now has 51 yards. And
all right, so
Davis's string of completions is now at 7.
Just keeps on coming, doesn't it? So 2-by-2 here.
And looks like
inside 3 minutes now.
There's the snap, and he gives the ball off to. Well, we'll see if that's more Armstrong again. We'll see when we get the. Yeah, I think that is Armstrong again. No. Well, we'll get it here in a second.
Baxter with the stop there for Butler County, but again, now inside 3 minutes, inside 2.5 now, 10-point lead for the Chiefs here, threatening to extend that.
2-by-2 set. Davis with the back set off to his left. The ball is down to about the 8-yard line, and Davis gets ready for the snap, and he throws it, and it is a touchdown. Nice job dragging the feet.
That was a nice catch.
8-yard touchdown pass.
And looks like we're going to have another penalty here.
I didn't see what happened there, Chuck, but it appeared to me that it would be. That
might have been a different one. We've got 2 flags, I believe, now, Coach, on the field.
Yeah. Okay, so they're going to be either kicking the extra point here from the 50-yard line or kicking off from the 20-yard line.
That's right. So let's see what the indication is. Pretty good idea. It's going to be a personal foul,
Yeah.
but we'll see who's going to get called.
I wish I could get the number on the touchdown there, but on the defense. So if we read that right, the Butler County, they said defense, right? I
believe so.
Yeah. So the Butler County head coach has to exit since it's the second personal foul. That must be on the sideline. But now why they're calling it on their sideline, I don't know.
Well, you wonder. I mean, the touchdown was on the far sideline.
Yeah, and that's why. But we don't know what was said over here either
Right.
on this side, which could have triggered the penalty. But
Yeah. Unfortunately, kind of an ugly end to what's been a really, really well played ball game, but
yeah, and
Had
the
some
touchdown stays.
unfortunate penalties.
I'm thinking that was Khalid Ali was the one that caught that, but it was either a 6 or 8, but we didn't get a good look because it was a great catch as he dragged his feet to stay in bounds.
Right. And then immediately mobbed.
Yes.
His teammates. So no, it's on the Chiefs. Unsportsmanlike on the Chiefs.
So is this David? Is it David Poole? No, there's David Poole over there. So,
And so they have, unfortunately, because it's the
okay.
second unsportsmanlike. Coach David Poole has been ejected. So
and there's Coach Poole heading.
the Chiefs are going to need to finish this last 2 minutes and 6 seconds without Coach Poole.
Okay, so 2:06 is when the touchdown was scored. Cincinnati fourth quarter, 2:06. And if we gave the touchdown to the wrong person, if somebody can help us out with that one, that would be great. But I think it was Khalid Ali who was the recipient of an 8-yard touchdown pass from AD. And it's a different kicker. Justin Simpson is number 7.
Yeah, that's not Justin, I don't
It
think.
looks like that might be Chaz Morton. I think that's number 15.
Okay.
We will confirm that in a second after we see the kick.
It's Coach Poole being giving some encouragement to his players as he exits the field here.
Well, there's the way it goes sometimes.
Sometimes, unfortunately.
So here we go. And the extra point. Okay, here we go. Or this could be number 5. This could be Eric Evans, too. Oh, we know that it's definitely a 5.
And we've got all sorts of crazy stuff there.
Okay. And we've got Cody Schweitzer, our cameraman, back in here.
So we've got a penalty on Butler County now, I believe, and I didn't get an indication, but
And it would just be offsides.
offsides, I would
Yeah.
think. Yeah, judging by the jump they had there.
Yeah.
So.
I was going to say you don't know if this is good or bad in this situation, but I would say considering the kicking woes, it only helped. Now,
And we've got another penalty.
and is that 35, Chuck? Yeah, that is 35. So we'll dig that one out for you. And that is Paul Rapking. And Paul was the one who just attempted that extra point, and I'm not even sure what they're going to do here because it looked like we had the wing moved and it appeared that Butler County was offsides.
And I'll tell you, really unfortunate the way this game is ending up because we really did have a nicely played ball game. We've had some unfortunate penalties here to wrap it up, but so we're going to have another penalty on the Broncos, but we've got an injured player there in the scrum after they were recovering the kick there, and really,
I like
It was
your
a dead ball
your
situation.
rugby reference there,
Oh,
Chuck.
thank you.
know.
Yeah. This isn't the only football that I cover, So, no, but in all seriousness, kind of an unfortunate thing that was a total dead ball situation, and
Yeah.
we still have someone get hurt. So,
And why they,
and at this point, you don't want to speculate, but hopefully it could be just, fatigue related or heat related. Could be some cramping or something like
Could
that
be.
going on. So,
Could be.
we can only hope that is the situation. But again, so just outside 2 minutes to go here. 2:06 remaining. The Chiefs up by 16, 40-24. And PAT pending here. So, again, Butler County will get the ball back, but with just over 2 minutes and 2 timeouts to go, we'll see if they can make a go of it here.
Now, Walter, as far as the rules are concerned in these leagues with the semi-pros and that, wouldn't it be, and Chuck and I talked about this, you're utilizing high school officials and you're asking them for a short period of time to convert over to certain NFL rules. And it would seem that it might be better to just stay with closer to high school rules and make it easier on your officials with maybe some minor modifications on it.
Well, what you mentioned before about the BCFL,
Yes.
I was the vice president at one time for the BCFL, and that did come up about the officials and who knows what, and having a NFL rule book on the sidelines
Right,
to
right.
clarify what goes on and
Right.
when you can clarify when it is a
Right,
timeout. And
right.
I've seen a lot of high school officials, and then they'll start going by high school rules.
Right.
1 foot in, 2 foot in,
Right.
whatever it
right.
may be, and it's just caused so much chaos. But some officials can do the NFL rules. I've seen
Right,
some that
right.
can carry out the NFL rules with no problem.
Right.
I don't know if something has to be created
I guess
training wise.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I was going to say, I think what you need to do is, whatever the league does, is they should get a group of officials and train them in the way they want the game called. If they are high school officials, hey, this is what the modifications are. Because we talked to the officials over at Dayton last week, and the one guy told me there are 200 differences between high school football and the NFL rule book. And so, that's a daunting task for these guys who, have to come out here for 10 weeks and do a modified NFL type of situation.
Right now, I have seen that some ref groups, that there's no specific, a lot of times, in a league, a specific ref group. It's, the home team would get whoever.
Right.
So, or their favorite group of refs or whatever.
Sure.
Somehow it has to be trained, or they have to go through, there has to be some sort of format.
Right. Yeah, I think that would help the game, and I would think maybe speed things up a little bit without the, sometimes the confusion on what they're conferring about.
So here's our third attempt at this PAT.
Ooh. And it's a fake?
I think it might have been a low snap. And he just throws it through the upright. So that does not count. When the ball goes through the uprights that way. So just to clarify for our fans.
Dre thought maybe nobody's looking.
That's
Didn't
right.
know it was
So
kicked.
that's going to leave it at 40-24 again. The Broncos getting the ball back with just over 2 minutes to go and 2 timeouts.
And so get over to the scoring page and finish this up. Okay.
There's been a lot on there tonight.
Yeah. Yes, there has been. And it hasn't all been very legible to transcribe.
Transcribe?
There, that's what I was looking for.
Translate, maybe? Is that
It could be translate, too.
All right, so again, Butler County getting ready to receive the kick here.
And with 2:06 to go here, we'll see if there's enough time for the Broncos to muster a drive and get down there and maybe put a few more points on the board before the end of this thing.
And kick fielded there at the 20.
And bounces back across the field. He's up to the
And
30.
uh-oh,
He's got the
uh-oh,
side.
uh-oh. Nice little return up to about the 48-yard line. That's number 9 for the Broncos, Kyle Brewer. So Brewer with a nice little return there. Give them some good starting field position here with just under 2 minutes to go now left here in the fourth quarter. Again, Butler County 2 timeouts, 1:54 to go.
Yeah,
but they need 16 points, so they would need 2 touchdowns and both 2-point conversions if they want to tie this up.
Well, it gets interesting if they get the first touchdown and the 2-point conversion, and then the game start with your onside kicks and all the possibilities
That's
from there.
right. And it looks like we do have a flag down back there, I just noticed. So the laundry continues here
I think the
at
disadvantage
Chris Carter Field.
for the Broncos is that, they rely on play action and mixing it up a little bit more than Cincinnati does. And if they just have to go into a drop back situation, I don't know how that's going to work
Right,
for
and
them.
we've seen the pressure Cincinnati can get when they just come hard off the edge. And penalty here against Cincinnati. I did not get the indication, but they are going to march some yards off here, and it's only going to help out the Broncos.
Right. And, with the pressure that Mario or Jamil Peoples and Vito Sosa can mount, can create a lot of problems for the quarterback.
That's for sure.
Although it appears that I do not see Peoples or Sosa out on the field right now. Again,
Yeah,
it
I
looks
think
like we
you're
got
right.
Eddie
So,
Davis
yep.
on the defensive end.
So now we've got a 4 wide look, 2x2. And again, deep post.
Oh! Well,
Hit
that
his
was
hands and fell away. And I'll tell you, that would have made it interesting right there.
I sure would have, because they pop in a quick one and
I'll
then
tell you, intended for Brewer, who just had
Yeah.
that really nice return on the kickoff. But again, looked like it was knocked out of his hands there at the very, very last second.
yeah.
But I'll tell you, nice job by Cunningham threading the needle right there.
It was a good throw.
He put it where it had to be.
Yeah,
but
he threw it in the hole and that just didn't come up with it. So, Cincinnati
2x2 look again.
just in a soft zone coverage now.
And again,
Oh.
Cunningham pressured, but nice job. And
Cunningham's going to pick up some yards here and goes out of bounds.
Yeah, again, Cunningham showing his wheels again.
Yeah.
And but unfortunately, the clock continues to melt down, and we're already down to 1:37. So chances and time running out for the Broncos here.
Yeah. They're gonna have to take some shots at the end zone, and of course, running the ball unless they can get out of bounds is going to end the game for them.
That's right.
Broncos have 2 timeouts left in the event that this would become a 1 touchdown game.
So again, 2x2 look here for the Broncos. Back offset to the left. Cunningham takes the snap, fires.
Cunningham.
Quick slant inside to 15. And Miller knocked down there. And again, Butler County runs up to the ball. They're going to try to get up and maybe run a play, maybe spike it here. We'll see.
Maybe spike it. Although
That's third. Yeah, that is a first down, so
Yeah.
they don't need to spike it here. Other than the shotguns, they won't be spiking it here. So Cunningham, again, this time, rolls out, backs up, continues to give ground. Now steps up in the pocket, fires to the end zone. Almost intercepted by the... Yes, it was. Intercepted by the Chiefs in the end zone. So
number 20, I think that's Mario Pleasant. And this...
they ruled it down,
Oh, okay.
Coach. They blew it dead, and I don't know if he was touchdown or if that was just a inadvertent whistle by a referee that's used to calling it that way or what. But that is going to be a turnover and a first down and a touchback for the
Mario
Chiefs.
Pleasant's second interception of the game.
Yeah, Mario wants that touchdown.
Mario wanted to put some icing on that.
Now, we wanted it for you too, Mario, but unfortunately not. So it's going to bring up 1st and 10 now for the Chiefs from their own 20-yard line.
And, of course, now last week we thought we'd see a couple nails, and it didn't work out that way.
That's true.
So we'll see what happens there. Mario's going to take the ball home with him, I think. No? He said, here, have it.
It is.
I
Was their ball anyway?
I just ran 100 yards for nothing.
That's right. A little less cardio tomorrow, Mario. So.
He got his conditioning in
That's
at the
right.
end of the game. So 40-24, 56 seconds to go in this battle of the undefeated. Right
I'll
here,
tell you, Bill, I got to say, in spite of the penalties, we've really seen a great football game here tonight.
yeah, you know that,
Two really talented football teams getting after it.
and that's the thing that probably took the most away from it and dragged it out was just a glut of penalties right there in between the third and fourth quarter, and it just kind of kept on going through the fourth quarter like that.
And remind me again, when is the rematch of these two teams?
We've got the rematch coming up on Saturday, June 30th,
So there you go, folks.
down in Cincinnati
Set your reminders now.
at Western Hills,
That's right, Western Hills High School.
and there's the knee.
And so it looks like, the Chiefs are going to take a knee, and Butler County is just going to let
They're
them
just
get
gonna
out
get
of
out of
here.
here.
So, but again, like we talked about, a great ball game on both sides, and I'll tell you, I cannot wait to see this rematch.
It's going to be a steel cage match next time they
Might be that too. That's true.
because there is a little bit of bad blood between the two, and
I want to come back just for that.
Well, you're more than welcome to join us.
Yeah.
I am
We'd love to
coming
have you.
back just for that one.
anytime you want to come back, Walter, you're welcome. So that is the end of it, and
Again, your final, folks, 40-24 Chiefs.
right here on
Here at-
Campus Nation and WZAA.
That's right, here at Chris Carter Field at Barnett Stadium, home of the Middletown Middies.
And this is WZAA one.
We got some fireworks.
We got
over
some
there.
fireworks.
That's great.
106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville. Are we legal now, Rick? You're legal. We got that in.
Thank goodness.
Yes. So, kind of, I don't know if it's quietly necessarily, but Antonio Davis completed 8 passes in a row to end the game. And let's see what he ended up with. He ended up with 30 attempts and 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. He was 23 of 30 tonight. And
Well, unfortunately, I don't know if we.
yeah, we're not going to publicize any
Okay.
of that. So anyhow, Antonio Davis, T.J. Harris, some of the same people that we saw in Dayton, did a great job. The defense came through for the Chiefs. And so for Chuck Hale and Rick Phillips, I'm Bill the Razor Rayback, and you've been listening to the PAFL Game of the Week right here on Campus Nation, WZAA 106.9 in Jeffersonville. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.